All right. I think we are up. Give it a minute. All right, we got this chat window there. I guess we could turn the Xbox on, aka Best Box, aka shits on PlayStation 4.
And controllers.
True story.
And I think we are up. All right, we're set.
We're up.
Now, what were you guys talking about prior to me being, fantastically late?
A bunch of stuff, actually.
Yeah, what were we talking about? We were talking about a lot of things.
I read into the... Well, I came in when you guys were talking about some streamer talking about Ice Poseidon, and Twitch decided to let them go. Which is shitty, by the way. Just talking about somebody? Really?
Yeah, Rice Gum got banned from Twitch.
Yeah, that's not right.
I mean, nobody's ever came out and said it was because of him talking about Ice Poseidon, but Drama Alert reported that the only thing that they could figure out was since he talked about him, because other streamers have been banned for talking about him.
Yeah, correct. Right, yeah. Which is shitty. That's a shitty
Jay Caesar,
thing.
what's up?
What is up?
Caesar, what's going
First.
I was going to be, but then I thought, it's better for, like, somebody in the crowd to be. Not really,
right? Not one of the...
not one of the streamers, because obviously I'm going to
totally
be...
first, guys!
I didn't cheat.
No.
Absolutely not. What's going on, Jay Caesar? What is cracking?
Got a few things to talk about. I mean,
yeah, it's actually a bunch.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, go ahead. The floor is yours. What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, THQ Nordic
has
purchased the studio that does Metro, or the company that does Metro Exodus and Metro Last Light and all them.
Shoot.
I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, it's right on the tip of my tongue, too.
Let me look it up. THQ Nordic. They acquired Deep Silver.
Yeah.
So they got Saints Row, Metro. They got a bunch of shit. Like,
can it be now? What's up, guys?
Hey!
Oh!
I didn't think he's gonna be here.
Yeah, I didn't think you're gonna be here either.
Well, I cooked her dinner, and then she's all wore out, so she's asleep now. So
in other words, you hit it pretty hard.
Wore out, huh? Right?
Yeah, you fucked her hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you throw her back out? Did you throw her back out? Yeah. See.
So
now Shaner's popping pills, like going shit hurting.
Dude, I am fucking dying, really, to tell you the truth.
You won't believe those thighs fucking wrapped around my neck like that. Damn, pulled another muscle today. What?
Okay. So THQ filed for bankruptcy in 2012.
Right.
Auctioned off a lot of its studios and IPs, and then Koch Media owned Deep Silver, and they purchased Saints Row, they purchased Volition, which makes Saints Row and the Metro property at the auction. Crytek bought Homefront, and then later sold it to Koch Media. Nordic Games buys a substantial amount of THQ's property. And then Nordic Games later acquires the THQ trademark, so it became THQ Nordic. And now they turn around and buy Koch Media's games, buying their games back from them.
That's funny.
Basically. So they got all their games back since from 2012. They went from, that shows how, I guess, volatile the gaming industry is.
Well, really, business in general is that volatile. But especially certain things like video games,
because it can, like, one game can make it can either let you hire 20 people or fire 100,
Mm-hmm.
Mass Effect Andromeda, anybody?
But it's good to see. Also it makes me wonder, obviously there was somewhere that something was like up for sale. Why didn't Microsoft buy them?
Good question.
Nobody said they were smart.
Well, they said they're going to be out acquiring, studios to build most of their first party lineup, and
sure they are. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't see any bolstering. I just see. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
We're fine.
I don't take anything they say seriously. Yeah, we're going to acquire some new talent. Yeah, sure you are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, At this point, I mean, everybody keeps wanting to bring up the amount of money Microsoft has, but I'm like, what good is all this money that Microsoft has if they're not putting it in the Xbox One? Like, I can have all the money in the world, but that doesn't mean my kids are, well off or going to be taken care of. I could be the richest motherfucker ever, but my kids could be poor. Like, unless I'm actually giving them money or taking care of them by funneling money to them, then my money doesn't mean shit for them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening with Microsoft and Xbox. Like, Microsoft is making a shit ton of money, but Xbox isn't seeing it. So right now, I'm on the line with like either put up or shut up at this point, because I'm tired of him coming out and giving everybody what they want to hear, telling everybody what they want to hear, but never showing that.
Right.
Somebody tried to like have an argument with me that I said because Sea of Thieves is their first IP. First brand new IP, I guess.
And I heard it was really good, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me it is. But, I mean, it's their first brand new IP in many, many years.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, no, they've had a new IP every year. Recore, Quantum Break. And I'm like, that's not them. That's somebody else. That's second party. That's somebody else that owns it. And he said, well, you can't count Bloodborne then. I'm like, yes, you can. Because Bloodborne had From Software and the Sony Japan studio working on it. I was like, it's a first-party owned game, and a first-party studio worked on it alongside From Software.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that is a new IP from Sony.
It was a collaborative effort, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
I said, now it would be different if Sony didn't own the IP and no Sony studio worked on the thing. It just was an exclusive, like say Neo or Nier Automata. Those aren't like new IPs from Sony. Those are just new IPs or IPs that not Nier, but Neo that just happen to be exclusive to the console exclusive to the PlayStation platform. I was like basically the same thing like Quantum Break and Recore and Cuphead and all these different things. Which I mean, I'm not like taking any light away from like those games because those are some fun games on the platform. It's just that Microsoft doesn't innovate. Like everybody talks about like what they've done for gaming, but like they've done some great things feature wise and shit, but they've really not done much to bring more new games to the table. They're a huge company, much like Google and Apple, but they just don't take the risk, and that's the reason why that I don't think like Google coming to the gaming platform is going to be a good thing either. I'd stay the hell away from Google because I think it's just another big company that just wants to come in and exploit some money out of gaming. They don't really care. I
look at Google like I look at Denny's. You don't want to go to Denny's and get a steak dinner and get disappointed because they don't know how to make steak. You know what I mean?
Right.
Same with Google. Google is a technology/software firm. They're a group of engineers, software engineers, and hardware engineers. Like, why would I want to go to them to play the next Call of Duty when I know it would be shit? There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, like, but they have. I mean, obviously, Google has the money that if they jump into gaming, they could turn gaming on its head because they have the money behind them that could do it if they wanted to dump that money in there.
Right.
But Google, these large companies don't become large because they go in and dump a shit ton of money into something that they know nothing about, especially a volatile industry like gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't see like Microsoft is a big company. They're not dumping a lot of money into gaming.
Correct.
Google, Amazon, I don't think they would. I think they're just coming in basically they would do enough to get by and just to collect the revenue stream.
To be fair, Amazon does own its own gaming engine.
Yeah.
So, like, they are making the good steps first. You know what I mean? They're trying to put their best foot forward first to see if they could even handle being in the gaming industry by having their own engine and offering it to developers. So I think that would be the best way for Google to go about it as well is, don't jump in head first thinking you're going to be the shit and then, you find out you're a fucking dud. Kind of like get your feelers out there with people first and see how well received you are. And that's what Amazon's doing. So I respect Amazon for that. At least they're trying for that shit. Google on the other hand, Google on the other hand, what am I going to fucking game on the Android market? Really? Like, how many fucking Android players do we need? Like,
but see, like, you have, like, Sony and Nintendo, and them two both, even when they were in gaming, like, when they came into gaming, they kind of needed gaming to be successful for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so they depended a lot on the gaming platform, and that means that they cared a little bit more about gaming because they really needed it to be successful as a whole company. Whereas Microsoft and Google and all them, they're already successful. Like they don't need something to be successful. They just need money. They just want money coming in. That's the reason why I don't think Microsoft. That's something I don't think they take gaming seriously. I just don't think they take it as serious as, like, say, a Sony or a Nintendo.
I see Google going more towards, like, say, smart devices.
I see them too, like more of a handheld type thing.
Handheld
phones and
stuff,
tablets.
phones, speakers, even audio.
Maybe creating like an NVIDIA Shield type thing. I could see something like that.
Like, I don't see them jumping into a console market.
Yeah, exactly. I can't see them just being like, oh, hey guys, this is going to be the next Dreamcast. Like, yeah, fucking.
But maybe like an ARM.
Something, I mean that.
Console, like a little one that just, certainly not like
like a Fire Stick type thing.
Yeah, something like that, where it's just a little thing that you can plug in and play like phone-y type games, and maybe even up to like decent 3D stuff, really but big. Not.
Their main bread and butter right now is the smart home technology. Like, they're doing extremely well with it, and their smartphone is probably one of their best smartphones on the market, outbeating Samsung and even Apple to some degrees. So, I mean, they got the right idea for those things, but I honestly just couldn't see them diving headfirst into a PlayStation/Xbox ecosystem and saying, hey, we are competing now. Like, I can't see that at all.
I don't think that would even work because, I mean, Microsoft tried that, and granted, the 360. It's hard to say that Microsoft is failing, but it's also hard to say they're successful in the grand.
They're like in murky water. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they are
kind of the in between. They've not grasped that audience that they need to be like an ever-growing platform.
They need
like Sony and Nintendo did.
Right. They need to regain the trust of its people. Like, nobody trusts Microsoft right now. Now, mind you, that's saying a lot coming from me because I enjoy the Windows 10 platform. I think UWP is fucking garbage, but I do like the OS overall. And I do like my Xbox, but I could guarantee you right now, if I only had to choose between PC and Xbox, I mean, I hate to say this, but it'd be PC. Just for trustworthy sakes is what I'm saying. Like, if I had to stick one to another, like, man, because I've seen
you're more confident about the future of PC than Xbox.
Yeah, because
fucking traitor.
I know, right? Because I look at what they're doing, like in the market and stuff. Like, they've only outpaced Sony once, which isn't good. And like we just said, they're in a murky spot. Like, they're not doing terrible, but they're not doing good. They're definitely not doing to a point where, like, they're worthy to write home about. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing fine for Microsoft. They're not doing fine for anybody else. And that's okay to agree.
They're doing enough to get by and be okay with them.
Yeah. And I think what sucks is they're okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see them making any good pushes to exceed that situation. Like, they're just kind of like, okay, we're happy here, I mean, I guess it's good for you, but, like, not good for your customers. Your customers want more shit, and we're not getting more shit. We just get the same shit. And
when you get to sit back as their customer and see all these different games being announced for all those other platforms that are not yours,
pretty much,
like, well, where's ours? And they're like, well, it's coming, and then it just never gets
It's
announced.
coming. Oh, wait, no, it got canceled because we pissed off the developer.
And so, I mean, they've just never grasped that audience that they need to I mean, they did grasp an audience. Of course, I mean, there's a core group or whatever, but they've not grasped a large enough an audience of it to kind of, like, just continue building on every generation like Sony did, Nintendo did.
Yeah.
And even with Nintendo's fuck up, I mean, you saw how many people, like, left Nintendo or just didn't buy it, but then immediately came back to the Switch. But then you have, like, the PlayStation 3, like PlayStation 2, the huge numbers, the downside of PlayStation 3, and then towards the end, and even PlayStation 4, bam, right back to numbers again. Microsoft just doesn't have that thing yet. So, I mean, like, Google trying to jump in and do it it wouldn't be a smart thing because I mean, if Microsoft
not trying
can't
to
do it,
compete on their same level.
Microsoft is already outpacing them in their Office suites, right? So much so that Google's looking at shutting their stuff down. So, I mean, Microsoft's doing that.
And this has happened with Google a lot. Like, who remembers Google Plus and what was
that fucking catastrophe? Yeah, I remember that.
I know, and there was another one too, wasn't there? I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, there's been a couple of times where Google has tried to insert themselves into a market, and it just
Google Wallet. Google Wallet's a fucking joke.
Google Wallet, and there's been a few others, and it never works out.
They think because of their name Google that it's going to just carry weight with it, and it just doesn't. Like they've not produced the quality that needs to be there to jump into those markets.
Well, yeah, it's like YouTube became the #1 video service because it was the best video service, not because it was Google.
Exactly. No, because Google came in afterwards and bought it. Like, so I mean,
well, right, but I mean, but that kind of thing. Yeah,
I guarantee right now, if YouTube was YouTube and Google tried to launch a competitor, it wouldn't even work.
No, it'd be a nightmare.
Because Google kind of half-asses everything and just thinks, okay, we're Google, people will come to us.
Yeah, they're trying to rely on the interconnectivity, I think, and that only works when the individual things themselves, like Google Plus, was just garbage. It was no Facebook. People just didn't like it, and even though it was nice and connected with your Google account and your YouTube and all that,
what really fucked them though? What really fucked them is they forced it. They didn't allow people to adapt to it. They just shoved it up people's asses and said, "Okay, this is what you got," and everybody was like, fuck you very much. Try again, motherfucker." Like,
we'll bypass that shit, thank you.
Well, then, and see, I've kind of thought that almost the same thing as Microsoft is that they've done enough. They've jumped in and kind of thought that their name was going to carry them in a direction. Now, I'm not saying they've not put because Google really just puts a lot of weight on their name, but like Microsoft somewhat did enough, but then also just thought their name would carry them the rest.
See, Cyrus gets it. Yeah.
And so it's, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of depressing because, I mean, Xbox could be.
It could be on top of the fucking hill again.
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, easily. All they got to do is take that money that they have and invest it. Put it into gaming. And yeah, sure, you might have to have a few quarters where, you're investing more than what you're making profit, but then in the end, it turns around and rewards you by more and more people buying your platform. But it doesn't seem like they really care about that. It seems more like they care about, I want monthly money. I want
what they should
sign up for something and forget about it.
You know what they should have done, and they should still do it. Honestly, they should go into looking into buying out sports franchises from EA and come up with their own shit. I think that would do far better than the anniversarial fucking Madden or FIFA game. You know what I mean?
When it comes to sports games, they need to find a company, even if it's 2K again, and they need to make an exclusive baseball game to Xbox. They don't fucking have one. I mean, there's RBI baseball, but that's shit.
It's going to be hard to compete. I mean, honestly, I'm not. I mean,
no, it is going to be hard to compete with the show. I guarantee you. But something is better than nothing.
Yeah, the show has been around for long enough to where that's the premier baseball game, and it'd be nice to see it because I know there's a lot of Xbox gamers that want it. Every year that they decide to announce the MLB The Show, there's always several Xbox gamers in that tweet going, "What about an Xbox port? Are y'all going to bring it to Xbox? Why, I guess they're not quite understanding that."
I'm fucking one of them that wants it. Check my fucking profile. I have 2K baseball achievements on that shit from the 360. I mean, I want one bad.
Well, they have the money to do it, and there's nothing stopping them because Sony or whatever, they don't have the license with baseball. They just
it's not like Madden and the NFL.
They're just the only ones that do it. And so, I mean, there's nothing stopping, Xbox from doing it, but I don't know why they don't.
Dude, I want to see them do their own soccer game, to tell you the truth, because I liked FIFA. I like FIFA a lot, and I would love to see them do their own soccer game. That would be awesome for me. I would go out and support that.
I'm not sure if Microsoft understands soccer. That's an international sport, and they're not. I mean, I know that they have their PC platform internationally, but when it comes to internationally with their Xbox, it's like they get lost in translation.
Yeah, they kind of do.
All they really seem to care about is the United States.
Which is fucking.
Because America.
It's really weird. It's odd.
Well, it is their primary, market.
Yeah, but still, they're a global company on their Windows.
They have become one, yeah.
So to go from a global company to just on this company, we're just going to focus on America. It just seems weird.
I don't know why they can't. I don't know why they can't branch that shit out. Like, who the fuck in Japan was gonna? Did you see what they launched with over there on the Xbox? Fucking EA games, dude. Like, why the fuck would they want to buy an Xbox One to play just EA games? I mean, it's the dumbest.
In fucking China wants to play Madden. They're like, what's this bullshit?
Right, dude. Like, you have to adapt your shit to that market. Like,
I mean, there's no samurai swords on defense in football. They don't want that shit.
Right? That's my point. Like, they don't like Sony, for instance. Sony adapts to their market. They know what America likes. They know what Japan likes. They have separate games with separate demographics. Why the fuck can't Microsoft do that?
No, they could, but they just don't. I don't know why. I don't know. Everybody says that they really tried with the 360, and I'm like, no, they really didn't. That's like to me, trying would have been purchasing a Japan studio or building one and started making games specifically for that region. That doesn't come to America, that just simply stays in Japan to give Japan gamers what they want. But they didn't. They're just like, here's what we offer. You either like it or you don't. One of the,
Right, and I mean,
and
what's one of the biggest, like one of the biggest sellers in like especially China is Koei games. They love them over there. It's like their #1 seller in that nation. I don't know why Microsoft doesn't say, "Oh, hey guys, here's an Xbox One that's Samurai Warriors themed or Dynasty Warriors themed." You know what I mean? Like that.
They screwed the pooch on Gigantic. I mean,
yep.
Oh God, they fucked that, didn't they?
Well, PlayStation launches like. There's been like several China only like specifically designed PlayStation 4s like with the fancy designs, and it comes with specific games for the Chinese market. Like they don't. I mean, they don't try to like just dump their Japanese market off into the China market. They actually have China only developers. Like people that will focus just on.
They want to focus on those regions, yeah, and by all rights they should. They should get to know their demographics. That's the best. I mean, at least Nintendo and Sony do that. Like, I congrats for them. And I was proud of Microsoft when they opened up their first office in China. What was it, last year, the year before? Like, I was like, hey, that's good for them. They're fucking finally branching out. They're trying to get out of their bubble. I get it. Great. They even took in a lot of flack for fucking protecting China's fucking data from our country. You know what I mean? They went through a lot of shit for that. And I haven't heard anything about China's market since. Like, I don't know how they're doing in China.
No, it's just kind of non-existent. Like
it just like disappeared after all that.
Yeah,
remember,
out of sight, out of mind.
Remember how we were like, oh, that's good guy Microsoft finally. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, they're telling our country to go fuck themselves when it comes to trying to sell off Chinese fucking information to the U.S. government. And they got sanctioned by our government, so they got fucked twice.
And Sony's over there, and they have an office over there, and they're like they have studios over there that are making games specifically for the Chinese market. So I mean, it just seems like that there's so many examples that Microsoft could lead with that they just kind of ignore.
Dude,
I thought they were.
I thought they were too, but apparently they're not, because I haven't seen any anything regarding the Chinese market regarding Xbox at all. Like, ever since I said they're opening up that office, like, okay, cool, and then it just like gone away.
Sony is so Eastern that even South Park, when they did the episode that featured the new PS4 and Xbox One a few years back, when they like transitioned to Sony in that episode, South Park turned into an anime. I mean, that's how like Eastern they are and how obvious it is. I mean, so Microsoft, on the other hand, no, you guys are right. It's all America.
I want to, dude. Like, you know what's crazy is on the 360, that was the only time they've ever brought into their scope. They reached out to Taito. They reached out to all these fucking developers that even Sony had issues with, right? And they released some of the greatest games on the 360 because of it. Even though the 360 had the biggest failure rate, people were buying it because of these Japanese games that they were getting. So many people gravitated to that 360. It was ridiculous, dude. What the fuck happened? Like, what happened? They went from being, like, world-renowned with the 360 to, like, zilch. Now, don't get me wrong. They didn't do so well in Japan with the 360. They did better with their first Xbox than they did the 360, to be honest. But, I mean, they still tried, though. They're not even trying now. It's like, oh, yeah, we tried out the 360. It didn't work. But yet, they still got the games, though. That was the thing. And I think they forgot about that. If they just tried and got more titles, they'd be able to sustain themselves higher and better over here in one nation than they would across the globe.
Well, they got to the point now to where, like in the EU, not the UK part, but the EU, their stores in, I think this guy, I can't remember if he says from Portugal or something like that, but where they just only, like they only, like in the Xbox section is just the top 10 games. That's it. Their consoles aren't even in the stores anymore. Like the EU market has simply just gone PlayStation completely. It's almost like they're almost non-existent in the EU market, and it's just kind of like, what happened? Like why do you have a global presence but then don't really put your best foot forward in this global presence? And when they lost FIFA, that was a huge blow to them.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's really what kept them alive in the EU market, is the fact that that was the only console that had the exclusive content for FIFA. And once they lost that marketing deal to Sony, people just said, "What's Xbox?" Like, it's all PlayStation at that point.
Yep.
And so I don't know. I don't know how they can bounce back from it. And people are saying don't freak out because their booth space is very little at E3. Because last year it was a little bit. They showed the most games, and I'm like, they showed a bunch of just indie games that were basically going to be multi-plat. They were just timed exclusives,
which is
crap.
Like,
that's not what we want to see from E3. We're not caring that you get to have timed exclusives with indies. Like, nobody's going to be buying an Xbox or like turning on their Xbox so that way they can play The Last Night before it comes to PlayStation 4.
Right.
Like, we want to see like the Fable 4s. We want to see the bigger games that are coming to your platform only. And they just don't seem to have that. They just don't seem to have that drive. It seems like they're content with what they have, and they just want to try to get more and more people on this monthly subscription thing. Because I saw how much money they can make out of Xbox Live, and they thought, well, shit, we can make just as much money off of Game Pass and be perfectly fine. You know, and it just blows my mind.
It's crazy to me to think that all that money that they are going to be making off that Game Pass, how none of that's going to go back into this platform.
No.
It's not, dude. It's not going to get back into the platform. Like, I would love to see it happen, but I don't see it happening. And that sucks, dude, because I really like this fucking platform and I want it to succeed. The thing that pisses me off more than anything is the ignorance of the fucking dev teams over there that are still sucking their dick saying, oh, well, they pay us. Don't worry, the Game Pass is a great thing. This is one of the reasons why I think it's going to be a bad thing, because we're not going to see any of the positive shit in it that we would normally see out of a game developer. Like how they fix their games anytime someone supports them. I'm talking about shit like that. I'm not saying we're not going to get our Xbox fixed. I'm saying I want to see more games released on the goddamn thing, and it's not happening.
I don't know.
Well, look at all the money that has been made off of Xbox Live.
Billions. Billions.
What have you seen from it? What have you seen from it?
Well, that's to the service, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, but still, like that, like.
I see an online service that doesn't get hacked like Sony's did last gen. That's why I like it.
I would say all that money that they're making it doesn't cost that much money a year to run service like that.
No, but apparently they know a thing or two about security, and maybe they got to pay those people.
Well, it's been like.
Well, let's be honest, Rambo. How much did they pay for Mojang?
Well, yeah, $2.5 billion, I think.
Well, there you go. That's all their income from live.
But I mean, I know that people say the hack thing. It happened one time, and sure, it was a bad thing. But I mean, that's like since then, it's pretty much been about equal.
Okay, but and I know you can relate to this, Rambo. Like especially what's going on with you in the last 10 years. You have that one bad thing. Well, there's more than one bad thing, but you have like a bad point in your life where like even something like that getting hacked and going down for a long ass time. You're going to remember that, and it's going to leave a bad taste in your mouth because that's what you needed then and there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that, but I mean, like, I guess the way people bring it up is like that they get hacked. Like, it was like, no, they got hacked one time, and they've taken the steps to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Right.
Well, and it hasn't happened again. And so, I mean, like, instead of like bringing it up like that, like bring it up like, I got screwed over in that time, and ever since then, I don't trust it, which is a legitimate reason, because if you get screwed over, typically, like especially big time, you usually don't just like dump right into trying to see if it happens again.
Like, but when Sony got hacked, I couldn't get out of bed, and I used a wheelchair most of the time. So. Yeah, bad taste in my mouth. I had nothing to do when they got hacked.
But how did you not have anything to do because your PlayStation still played single player games?
Yeah, but when you play Call of Duty all the time and there's no online, yeah, you might as well throw the console away.
You gotta remember, Rambo.
Like me, PlayStation PSN could go down for the entire year. I wouldn't even know.
Right, but you got to remember this was a time where all he played was multiplayer. I don't think he really focused single player up until recently.
Never in my life have I ever focused on multiplayer. Other than now, when I'm trying to get this fucking trophy. Other than that, like I could give a shit. Like like seriously, multiplayer could go completely away. I'd be the happiest person in the world.
I think more achievements and trophies should require that you play multiplayer. It's a part of the game.
No, like it shouldn't, because the thing is, though, is that like if you look at it, servers get shut down. If you don't have time to play every single game as they come out and to completion, to the 100% completion. So you pick and choose here and there. But if you want, like, say if I want to get, like, say The Last of Us, we're just gonna say. I want to get that platinum, but I didn't have enough time to get around to playing the whole 100% whenever it came out, because there were so many games come out. I've already played on the PS3, but I want to get on the PS4, and here I am going to get it, and then all of a sudden, like, they're like, "Oh, we're shutting The Last of Us servers." Well, you're screwed at that point, because now you have a thing where you cannot get anything. Now, I can agree with the ones that say, play a match in this type of match and play this type of match, and then that's it. That's all the online trophies. But to say that if a game is not built around multiplayer, like Call of Duty, then it shouldn't require hours upon hours in a multiplayer setting. If you built your game around your story, that's where your platinum or your 100% should focus. And then you should have maybe if you want to throw in the online multiplayer, like play this type of match and play this type of match and you're done. But don't make it look like that you built your game around multiplayer and then the story was your secondary, because the story was completely primary.
Yeah, I mean that's a legitimate argument too. But like games like Call of Duty that are built around multiplayer,
well, yeah, you'd have to have multiplayer trophies.
I don't think Call of Duty has enough
of them. Separate the single and multiplayer trophies.
I mean, look at Brimstone's level in Call of Duty. He's prestiged 4 or 5 times. You get maybe 3 trophies or 3 achievements for that. Then there's nothing the rest of the time, which is okay for people like me and him that enjoy playing Call of Duty. But trophy hunters, they're going to put that game down real quick. I mean, they could really increase the. Well, if you want to platinum Call of Duty, you have to prestige once.
Yeah, that's not even happening, because I already know that. But I mean, if I try to prestige Call of Duty, like 7 more Call of Duties would come out before I prestige.
Rambo, it's really not that bad, man. I think you could do it.
Playing the stupid Last of Us, man, I remember every single day, like, the reason why I don't play online. Fucking cheaters. I mean, they're like just rude ass people. If you don't do good, all the people like cussing you out. You're playing the same fucking map to every fucking time because that's what people want to pick. You're just like, and they're like, well, mute everybody. I'm like, then you're playing a fucking just like a Groundhog Day single player game. Because you're just fucking doing the exact same shit over and over again, seeing the exact same shit over and over again. They're like, that's not fun. Like you should be able to have your mic on and be able to talk to people. I don't know. It just doesn't.
You fucking scrub.
Neverland. I've explained this several times. The only reason I buy the deluxe edition of, like, say, Call of Duty or with the season pass is because I shared with my son, and he plays. That's all he. I mean, he focuses like strictly on. If it ain't multiplayer, he likely is not playing the fucking game. As far as I don't give a shit if I ever see a multiplayer. I think I've played in Black Ops 3. I think I maybe played 5 matches total. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, fuck this. Like, I don't even see how anybody finds that shit fun. It's just not fun at all. And the only time it's really fun is if you have somebody like your friend in your ear and y'all just want to sit back and have fun. But if you're you got so many fucking tryhards in these fucking matches that, like, shit, if you don't walk away from the match like 106 kills and 1 death, they're like, get the fuck out of here, you scrub, you fucking loser. Like, fuck you.
It only takes one. It only takes one match for you to have a blast, and you'll never want to put it down again.
Oh no, that's not true. I've had a blast in The Last of Us, and I've wanted to put that down immediately right after I had.
Then you're the black sheep. I mean,
I hate fucking multiplayer. I don't like people. Like, I seriously hate people. I hate them. I despise them. If I could get rid of everybody on this earth besides me and my family, I'd be 100% happy.
Man, nobody let Rambo near the nuke button.
Yeah, for real.
I couldn't be president because I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. Bam.
Don't go to Hawaii because apparently theirs is really easy to press. So, I mean.
I'd be pressing that shit every day just to watch people fuck around. Like, oh shit, they're going to kill each other. Less people have to worry about that, being on the roads and shit. I don't like people. I don't like people in my ear when I game because, to me, gaming is an escape.
So mute them.
But then, like I said, then you're playing there's just some repetitive shit. You're just playing the exact same fucking map because everybody picks a map.
Your bitch about multiplayer would make more sense if it was less contradictory. You know that, right?
How's it contradictory?
Because the whole premise of, like, the cure to your issue is of muting people, then you're like, well, then it's just fucking pretty much boring because you're playing the same shit over and over again. Like, it seems like
it's not contradictory because the only thing that can make multiplayer fun is the interactions with other people. However, when those people are fucking jackasses half the fucking time, it doesn't make it fun. So therefore, muting people, sure, it takes away the jackasses, but then all you have to focus on them is the exact same scenery, the same scenery for 5 minutes, bam, back to the same scenery for 5 minutes, bam, back to the same scenery for 5 minutes. And it's like, why?
Yeah, but the matchups are different because you're playing against human opponents. So
I know,
no two humans.
Well, but that's still
for people who like multiplayer. That's the pull.
But I'm just saying speaking from my thing. I don't give a shit if the character coming at me to shoot me. If above it says XX, I want to fuck your mom, XX, or XX, eat shit and die, it doesn't matter to me. It's still the same fucking person to me. Like, it's just another person. Like, to me, I don't. Well, I don't know. I don't see any attraction at all in playing online.
So you didn't share much as a kid, did you? Like your game consoles, you didn't have friends over to sit on the couch and play.
Oh yeah, we played. I can enjoy the shit out of like if you came over and we played a split screen, not like a split screen, but like even just like a Super Mario Brothers, where I would be like Mario and I would play, and then once I would die, then it would be your turn and you would play, and then vice versa. I did that for hours upon hours upon hours. I can enjoy that because you're right there next to me. I can, it's cool. Playing online, like I said, if I'm in a party, like say with you and Brim and Pete, I could be perfectly happy because I know the people that I'm talking to. If I'm in line where random people are fucking talking to me, I'd rather kill them, like literally actually kill them instead of deal with them. Like they're just fucking assholes.
This is why he can't play games like PUBG and stuff. He kills his teammates. He's like, fuck you, shut up.
I didn't kill your teammates in PUBG?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it sounds like Shane.
Yeah.
I've blown Metro's brains out pretty good a couple of times.
Now that I know that, I guarantee you, if I get around people in PUBG and they start talking shit, I'm killing their fucking ass. I'll be the worst online opponent or online person that they're playing with.
I'm pretty sure you get credit for a kill too. So
that's even better. I can end the game with a positive KD. And I only killed my own fucking team. Like,
China
Ryan,
#1.
Ryan, like I can play the shit out of Destiny 2 multiplayer, and only if I'm in a party chat with like 3 other friends that were like all 4 of us are in there together. I'm not really paying attention to the multiplayer. We're just like we're bullshitting back and forth about how shit the game is or what game is coming out, or we're razzing each other about PlayStation and Xbox and just bullshitting kind of like we do on here. And I can enjoy that. I can enjoy that if my whole entire team on Last of Us was my friends. But randoms are where I can't. And if the Last of Us multiplayer trophies allowed you to go into private lobbies and earn them that way, I'd be 100% for that. But to me, there should be no such thing as a random system. Like the only way you should be able to play multiplayer is if you have friends. And you have to come up with enough friends to fill your entire team.
That would suck, dude.
I would be happy because then I know that every time I played multiplayer, that at least everybody in there I know and I can.
We just need to find Rambo a whole bunch of friends that he can play with.
I know, because do you know how hard it is to get a whole just a Call of Duty team together? That's just 6 people.
Could you imagine trying to find
4 people sucks.
Could you imagine trying to get a PUBG team together?
I don't even have that many friends on my list.
Or wait a minute, a Fortnite team together when it was 50 versus 50.
Couldn't even. Well, I have 75, I think, but
that would be
I only talked to like 7 of them, so that wouldn't work.
But then having 50 people in my ear, I don't give a shit if I'm your friends or not. I'd probably cuss you out because shut up.
Yeah.
And Ryan, I think it was Ryan. Yeah, never invite me into a damn party to play a game if you have somebody else in your party that's playing a different game. I will unfriend you on fucking the console that I'm on. I don't want no part of that shit.
Wait, what?
If I'm playing, if you say, hey, you want to play Destiny? And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's jump on Destiny. And then you have somebody else inside the party that's playing fucking Saints Row or Xbox, or not Xbox. They're playing. Well, they might be playing Xbox, but they're on their PlayStation with in the party chat. No, fuck out of here. Get out of the party if you ain't playing the game that we're on. I don't want. It drives me fucking insane to get inside Game Talk, or not the Game Talk server, but your server, and having because the people will get into their game. Obviously, I don't begrudge them getting into the game, but whenever you're having it, we're talking like this, and then you have Metro, and they're going, "Oh shit, come on, man, what's up, man? Go talk shit." What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody's even fucking talking to you. Shut up.
That's not Metro that does that. That's Rife.
Well, you know what I mean. I was just using him as an example, but I mean that's what inside the party chat whenever, and it's you're trying to communicate, and here's this motherfucker talking about some other game, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Mute yourself.
Metro, you just hear controller abuse.
You just hear
that's all.
This controller is not working. No, it's you. It is you. My Xbox is broken. No, it's you, but it's really you.
This is fucked up. They designed their game wrong. No. That's not how this works.
But see, I fully admit that I suck at multiplayer. Like when I play with, I just played Last of Us a little bit with Chris last night, and my forewarning to him was like, I suck. You know, just know I suck. I'm doing my best just to get by, and I'm getting the fuck out of here because like I don't want to be in here. Like I don't want to be in that multiplayer match at all. My total hours of online gameplay in January were 0.
Damn, man.
I'm telling you, like I'm seriously like I hate fucking multiplayer. And then to have my son be all about multiplayer, and he's like, I have nothing to play. I'm like, look at all the single player games. Well, your friends can't play. I'm like, fuck your friends. Like, that's not what gaming's about. Like, play the fucking games and enjoy the damn story somebody created for you. Enjoy that masterpiece. Who gives a shit about your friends and what they're playing? Like, they'll be fine.
I'm all about story stuff, but I try to play multiplayer at least once a day.
Don't give a shit about your friends.
Fuck them!
But I did have a positive experience today in multiplayer.
He was telling me about this, yeah.
First positive experience I've ever had, and that I can remember. But in Last of Us, to get the trophies, you have to go through like a hunter journey and a firefly journey. Each journey is 12 weeks. Each match is a day, so you have 7 days, 7 matches per week, so you have a total of like 84 matches to play if everything goes well. Like during this week of play, you'll like something like a mission will pop up. Some missions will be like, like you get to pick what you want to do, like have so many downs or so many executions or so many kills with a certain gun or whatever. Mm-hmm. You get to pick what you want to do. But some of it like says if you complete those missions, like some missions will be you'll get to like better prepare your survivors, so you'll gain survivors if you successfully do it. Some of them will be like the fireflies attack, so they're going to take 60% of your population unless you can get these number of kills or whatever it is you pick, number of revives, whatever it is that you want to pick. Well, so I didn't like. Whenever I read the trophy guide, it basically says don't pick the easy ones until you get to those 100%, because there's some missions that will be, if you fail this mission, it will take 100% of your population, and you'll have to start the journey all the way over for this trophy. And so I was picking what they were easier for me, but I thought they would be gone. Like whenever, like the way that the trophy guide said was that like once you picked it, that was the only time you could pick it. So pick them wisely, and pick them whenever they're 100% population. So my first 100% population thing comes up, and I pick like so many downs. Well, the next time it pops up, I'm like, wait a minute, downs is still on there. So I pick it again, and I'm not realizing that instead of it requiring like 2 downs, now it's requiring like 6 downs. And then now it's up to 15, because like that's the reason why they say don't pick the easy ones, because they keep stacking every time that you do it and requiring more and more. And so now I'm left with picking some random shit, just trying my best to get to where I only have to do 2 things. So I'm on week 11, day 7. I have 7 more fucking matches to go, and I have 100% population risk. So I go in and I'm thinking, okay, well, executions are easy because I'll just wait for somebody to get a kill or a down, or I'll run over there and execute the guy real quick and steal their kill. And I load up into the game, and the guy kills somebody, and I'm like, fuck, I'm running. I mean, I'm just beelining over to that guy just so I can execute him before my teammate does. So I do it, and I get 1 execution. I only need 2. And shortly after this, the baby has just been crying for, like, just screaming. And so my wife was like, get in here and help me. Like, so I had to turn the fucking, like, leave the game. So I'm like, shit, that's one of my days. I only got 3 days to do this, 3 matches. So I was like, okay, good. She put her in the bath. Everything's good. I go in to play the second day. And as soon as I get into the fucking second day, like the hospital calls my wife, so I have to get off the game to go watch my granddaughter in the bathtub. And I'm like, fuck, this is like the worst time ever. So I do it, and I'm on my 3rd day, and we're talking like halfway through the match. So I've been talking in this thing. There's one guy talking on mic, and I'm like going, I've got to get a fucking execution this round, or else I have to start my fucking journey all the way over. And I'm on week 11, day 7, or I was like, on this time I was like week 12, day 2. And he's like, oh shit. He goes, that sucks. He goes, I've actually, whenever I was going for the platinum, lost 100% population on week 12, day 7. I was like, oh, I said, I fucked that. I said, I would have burned my game. Like I would have been pissed. And so I've been trying this whole match to get just a down, so that way or running up to somebody else that's getting a down. But the whole team we're going across, they're just murdering us. And so I happen to find this guy. I hit him with my club, and he doesn't go down. He ends up shooting me. I go down, and the guy behind me that I've been talking to shoots the guy and makes him go down, but he doesn't execute him. He actually revives me first. He says, "Get your execution, hurry!" And so he lets me get it, so that way I don't lose my population. And I was like, my God, the first time ever. I've been so fucking distraught with people on fucking line. And
he's like, wow, guy, you're an actual good person. Thank you.
Yeah, you're an actual fucking person. Like the rest of them are just fucking elitist assholes. I had somebody last night, because I didn't get enough kills or whatever. They're like, that Rainbow All-Star, get the fuck out of here, you stupid piece of shit. You're low life piece of shit. You just suck. I was like, does somebody hurt your feepies? I'm like, I was just, oh God, this motherfucker. If I would have saw him face to face, I would have beat the shit out of him. Like he just pissed me off.
My son was playing.
I can't do it.
Something. He's a shooter. I think it was Fortnite, and someone was talking shit to him because like he missed a really easy kill, and this was a while ago, but he still had that little controller, and so I took his headset, and I said, "Wow, your dick must be really tiny, like this mini PS4 controller." And dude, that guy yelled and yelled and yelled, and finally I just took the headphones off. I was like, "Here, dude, it's for you," and I handed it back to my son.
When was this?
Oh, like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago because he wasn't grounded from it then. So, yeah. Now it's on my desk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the chat. Yeah, Osiris and Rambo. Yeah, y'all both have me figured out. I'm really not one of those like. I'm not as much of an asshole as like what I'm saying here, but it's more of like I have a core set of people that I can deal with and I can handle and I get along with, like Brim, y'all.
We're lucky enough to be in that group, guys.
But these random fuckers, like, no, I just
play Rainbow Six Siege, Rambo. Oh, that'll put a bad taste in your mouth.
Fuck you. Like I've tried that. Fuck you. Those people are
rude. Kick you out quick.
Yes, and they're worse than the fucking elitist and Last of Us players.
I want to play it, but I ain't playing it without Brim and maybe another person. Because
I've got to play with the whole fucking team, so that way that just knows I suck and can deal with it. Because I can't deal with any random in there because like they're all fucking just. I've not met a single nice person on Rainbow Six Siege ever.
Really?
Never. Like the only people I know that ever play that are nice and play Rainbow Six Siege are the people that I know that are my friends, but I just don't play with them.
Me and Storm were playing that the other day, and
Rim, it's different for you because you're good at FPSs, all of them.
No, they were trying to vote me out regardless, dude. Like I got voted like 6 times.
Oh well, yeah. I'm average I'm average at best, but most of the time pretty shitty. So I'm like the first one to go. That's also why I don't play Counter-Strike.
Oh, fuck man, they would vote me out before I ever even made it past the intro lobby.
Yeah, you know why? Because you're usually a recruit soldier. That's why.
Well, not only that, but because I'd be like going, I suck, guys.
That's all I have.
Let you know, and they'd be like, oh, you're out.
I would have to buy an operator in order for them to think I was experienced at all.
Yeah, but like I could buy all the operators, but as soon as that said go, they'd be like, all right, we're voting them out. This motherfucker like paid for this motherfucker.
No, that's a good point Brim brought up because I didn't do bad when I played Rainbow Six Siege. There's only 5. It's 5 on 5. I got 2 kills. So, I mean, that's almost half the team. But just because I didn't get the last kill, they got mad.
Yep. I'm lucky to play all day long and get 2 kills.
Dude, you could seriously, dude. Like I when I was playing with Storm, we were doing pretty decent. Like I ended up getting like 5 kills. Right? There's only 1 person left, and I got fucking killed. Okay, what did you do? I got killed, and I was still like considered suck. Like I'm like what? Like I damn near team wiped. Like what the fuck? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you need to be a clutch fucking player to please them.
Yeah,
they can suck my dick.
The people like say like on The Last of Us, I'll go like it happens like this usually with me. Like I'll go a while. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to put it like with a Destiny because they don't have like the well, yeah, I guess Destiny 2. There's some missions in Destiny like where like they're not really missions, but they're kind of like incentives. Like if you get so many kills with whatever, then you can get an Engram or whatever. If I don't have those and I don't have like the missions like those get so many downs missions or for your 100% of population, if I don't have those, I can go through a game and have like with like Last of Us, I had one game where I had like 8 downs and 10 executions and like 3 deaths, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun. Like, and then when all of a sudden like the next thing pops up, I'm like 100% of your population, and I pick like what I was just good at, and I'll go through there and I'll have like 0 downs, 0 executions, and 17 deaths, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like where? Like I don't. But it's like if I'm tasked with something, it sucks. And so that's the reason why like, Rainbow Six is like you are tasked the entire time with wiping that team. Like it's not like you have to do that. Like that's, and so I just can't play Rainbow Six unless I have a full team of people because I have to understand that I suck and they're basically going to carry me through the entire game.
Yeah. Like I said, when I was playing it with Storm, like we were doing pretty good. Like it was a pretty fun experience. Storm wasn't being an ass or anything because that dude plays a lot. Like he is on that game all the time. I think he told me he had like something like 12 days played in game time. That's a lot of fucking hours, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, my son's like that. He's only like a few 2 trophies away from the platinum, and I've tried playing with him and his friends, and his friends talk too much shit to me. And I'm like, I'm not letting no fucking little 15-year-old kid bat.
Dude, they got fucking mouths on them. I'm telling you.
Little motherfucker out. And
I remember those days. Counter-Strike 1.6, man. Every 12-year-old in the world had fucked my mom.
I cannot stand little 15-year-old smart mouth kids like trying to tell me how I suck, and I'm like, I know I suck, dumb fuck.
Bro, Dude, I was the king of talking shit back in the day, dude. Like, soon as some fucking little bastard get on there, or the stereotypes that get on there, yeah, I think we all know about those. Yeah, I would bring up the fucking insults to those stereotypes, and I would get fucking hate mail like you wouldn't believe. I'd bring up EBT. I'd bring up fucking. Oh my god, dude! Like, I had one guy literally just rage quit, and he blocked me. Like, I didn't even message him or anything. And I went to message him like a day later to apologize. Like, yo, man, I'm sorry about talking so much shit to you. Just, you got me heated. But no, I couldn't even do that because he blocked me. I was like, damn. I get under that kid's skin real quick.
I don't play, what's it called? Whenever I go into online matches, I don't talk shit to nobody because, like, I can't back up any fucking shit talking that I do.
Dude, I am one of those.
Like, I'll revive the shit out of you, bitch. Like, I mean, that's what my size is.
I'm good at shit talking. I mean, I guess you
shoot those bullets. I'll throw myself right in front of them.
Yeah, that's the type of shit talking I would have to do, and they'd be like, "Oh, you dumb fuck." Like,
but have you ever
work out for me?
But you know what's funny is diffusing the situation. I've diffused quite a few situations, in like COD and Rainbow Six Vegas, dude. Like back in those days, I've said some stupid shit that like it turned a toxic lobby into like everybody laughing and having fun. Where I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I bet you want to suck my dick, don't you?" He's all, "Fuck you, wait, what? What did you say to me?" Like,
well, yeah, I mean, it's like when Metro goes into a toxic lobby, he's like, "Shut up, or I'll suck that dick," and they're like, "Whoa, wait a minute." I mean, yeah.
You know, but I've said shit like that. I'm like, "Yo, how about you want to put that dick in my mouth?" And they're like, "Wait, what? What? Are you gay?" I'm like, "No, but I got you thinking about that shit now, don't I?" Faggot.
Well, Chris, I mean, I would say something like that, but whenever they turn around and at the end of the match and that same person has killed me like 17 times, it doesn't carry the same weight. Like they just like, yeah, whatever. You're just nothing but a blowhard or whatever. Like,
you're trash.
I can't back up any shit talk, so I go in there and like going, "Hey guys, let's all be friends, please." Like,
so what you're saying, Rambo, is you're a Hufflepuff when you get online.
Yeah, because I can't. I know I suck. So I mean, there's no reason to talk shit about. I mean, if you like, I'm really damn good at single player games and like figuring shit out and like getting like dealing with like hard games like that. But whenever you put me in multiplayer, like fuck that. Like too much shit going on. Like if it was just kill one person, fine. But like we're talking about like kill a fucking entire team, and I can't watch the back of me, the front of me, the sides of me, and like it's just too much.
Then why do you have that surround sound in your headphones, man? That's what that's for.
I can hear my own damn team running up to me. And I turn around and see my team running up. By the time I turn back around, I'm getting killed because there's somebody else that I didn't hear walking up. And then last of it's even worse because they can sneak up on you when they're crouching, and you'll never even know they're there. They don't appear on the map. They don't appear in nothing.
Rambo has those fancy headphones, so he knows when and where to run.
Yeah, until the like Last of Us has really made me like question like what's the use in headphones, because like seriously if you're crouching, you can walk that entire map and as long as nobody sees your body, nobody even knows you're there. You'll just get knifed in the back of the head, and you're like, where the fuck did you even come from?
Do you have you're using those Sony headphones or the Astros?
No, I'm using A50s.
Oh, okay.
And the surround is great because I mean I can hear the shit out of my team running, but like the other guys, they're not running. They're just like crouching and just barely crawling and just sneaking the fuck around. And there's too many cheaters on The Last of Us now because there's no report system.
Yeah, see, that's fucked.
You could not report.
The lag switches are real. I saw your thing on that. Yeah.
And there's people that like if you throw a smoke bomb on somebody, like it chokes them, and so they're kind of stuck there for a second, so you can run up and kill them. I threw one. This guy was in a corner between like boxes in front of him and a wall next to him, and I threw the smoke bomb right in that fucking corner. It blew up. He was still in that corner. I ran over there. He never even choked one time. He was just over there waiting on me to come over there, and he killed me as soon as I got over there. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, I'm like, this takes all the fun out of these games. Like, you have too many people that's just cheating for the hell of it. Like, what's the fun in cheating in these games?
Well, like you said, I think you just need to get into a group with friends. I know you got quite a few friends that play that game, don't you? I know Jack plays the shit out of the game. Play with him.
Oh, I cannot play. No.
Yeah. Have you already done that or no?
No, I just couldn't. Like I don't get it. I get along with Jack just enough to talk to him, but not like anything more than that. But I mean, I played with Chris. I mean, whenever our times, like I played last night with him, and that was fun when I was playing with him because it was actually like when I'm dying and stuff, I can laugh about it instead of cussing at my TV. And so it helps take the ease off of all that crap. But like when those missions come up for 100% loss of your population, like I almost have to like completely shut everything down. I can't listen to anything else besides focusing on the game and like trying my best just to get what I need. Because if I'm sidetracked with a conversation or whatever, I'll go the 3 days without even getting a kill, and I'm just screwed at that point.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, a school in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Oh, well, there's that. But no, this one's just a little ridiculous. Canesville Elementary School, I believe in Pittsburgh, because it is CBS Pittsburgh local. But they had a Valentine's Day dance, and the teacher said that you could not say no to somebody who asked you to dance.
What?
Yep.
I would have loved that going to school.
To promote inclusivity and kindness.
I would have abused the shit out of that.
Isn't that basically like going against the whole rape thing too?
Right? Oh, yeah. Do these guys not understand?
All right, I'm gonna get some tonight, guys.
Isn't that like that? There's a lot of implications in that long term.
Mm-hmm.
More so than, oh my god, I got to dance at a third grade dance. Like that's a very dangerous precedent to set.
Oh yeah, and their parents are pissed.
You guys don't know what you're talking about. I was raped about 3 times in my life. I think I'm doing good.
I would tell my kids whenever they went to that.
I was just raped an hour ago. I don't know what you guys are fucking talking about.
You say no to whoever the fuck you want to say no to, and if you get suspended or whatever, we'll deal with it then, and you just won't be in trouble. But you sure as fuck don't just say yes just because somebody asked you. Like,
if I say no, I'm usually like, oh no, please don't. Oh no, I'm not wearing any underwear today. Oh my. No.
The poor school in Florida, man.
Yeah.
And somebody was online talking about we need stricter gun laws. I'm like, why are you online and you bitch about the pointless drug laws, but you somehow can't apply that same fucking logic to guns?
You know what they need is like 2-step verification or 2-step security for teachers to have guns.
Something.
Like
they don't need to make stricter gun laws because.
But aren't these last shootings have all been because the fucking dad didn't keep his guns locked up safe? Like, isn't that usually the case nowadays? It's either they got their guns from their parents in a safe, or someone broke into somebody else's house and got the guns out of their safe.
I don't keep my guns locked up.
Yeah, I don't either.
There's no point in having a gun if you keep it locked up.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna break.
Where are your guns located?
Mine's in my bedroom.
There's one on my bedside table. There's one like on top of the entertainment center in the living room. There's.
I don't know if I.
That's fucking smart, Rambo. Have someone break in. Oh, hey, look, there's a gun on the fucking entertainment center.
Well, it doesn't stay there whenever I go to bed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, I'm not like dumb, like going here. Here, grab this on your way.
So you can have a fighting chance. Here you go.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you're armed whenever I kill you.
Makes it a lot simpler at the trial. Yeah. Trust me.
No, but think about it. Like, if teachers had to take like a psych exam or something to make sure that they were okay in the head, and then they had like a gun safe in the classroom where they couldn't open it until like some alarm was sounded or something. I mean,
well, there's no reason for a teacher to be able to have one out on the desk. Like, it can be in a safe in a school. Because by the time, I mean, you would hear the gunshots be like, for sure that maybe the first teacher might not, make it, but some teacher in there with the gun safe is going to be able to hear the gunshots go. It's time to get the gun out. Like around here in Oklahoma, we passed a budget thing, and every school in Oklahoma has a cop in it. Metal detectors and a cop.
There's a picture.
There was a cop in my high school when I went to school. I mean, shit.
And somebody online tried to tell me that's not happening in my state, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, you don't know my state. And he's like, well, it doesn't sound like something that could happen. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you think it sounds like based on your state. My state actually passed the budget so we could do this. Like, this is what we've done to keep this shit from happening with our schools.
There's a really good. It's like I think it's like a picture of a newspaper clipping, and it's got a teacher and a student sitting at the outside door of a school with shotguns, and it says the caption is that it was like the 70s or something like that, and somebody had called in a shooting threat to the school. And so teachers and students all went out to their cars, grabbed their guns, and then spent the day patrolling and guarding the doors, and nobody ever came. because obviously there was a bunch of people with guns guarding the school. But yeah,
it's
like,
not a half bad idea, to tell you the truth.
But that's the thing. Like, it was not that long ago when students and teachers would have guns in their cars, and we didn't have problems like this.
True.
Yeah, Cyrus. That was he just had basically like shooting, get fish in a barrel at that point. Whenever he pulled the fire alarm.
Oh yeah,
and there was
kids and down the halls. Yeah.
There was one kid that apparently they were in their class and she got on Snapchat and really wrote OMG no while she was listening to the gunshots. Like, she was recording the gunshots going off. I'm like, when you really wrote OMG no, like, it just seemed like a kid thing to do. Like, oh no, well, dumbass, like you're about to get killed. But see, like, what I find is wrong is, like, it's really, they say there's not a blocker or a jammer at these schools that are around our area, but you can literally drive around that block, and if you even get close enough to that school, your phone just quit fucking, like, the internet slows down almost to nothing. Like, it's hard to even get a call in or out, and if you're in the school, it's like you might as well just give up. And to me, like, they've done that. They've actually installed something to jam, like, cell phones to be used in the school. But that also, to me, if a kid has a cell phone, they actually have that's another opportunity for them to call somebody for help.
That's like half as good as a gun in that situation.
Because what
someone
happens
with
if the guy
gun.
with the gun has killed everybody in the office to call? Well, I mean, to me, I don't know. I think that, like, schools should have, like, a way to be able to combat, kids just using their phones randomly.
It wouldn't be a bad idea for classrooms to have a panic button as well, like banks. I mean, something.
I think what you guys are asking for is too much common sense.
I know. Sorry, my common sense is showing. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, can't have that.
Yeah, Ryan, that always blows my mind is whenever the people a lot of the big wigs and politicians and whatever that are anti-gun, they have armed security.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it doesn't really go together.
You should give them cap guns. That's what you want, right? Airsoft, yeah.
As soon as you get rid of your armed security, we can maybe talk about, your anti-gun policies.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way in hell that stricter gun laws in a country that already has 300 million guns is going to do a damn thing. And the only way for stricter gun laws to work is or even to work remotely. They're not going to work, but the only way for them to work remotely is for them to gather and confiscate all the 300 million guns and then enact stricter gun laws, because all the guns are out of the country at that point. And then
I'm not even a gun person. I seriously don't own a gun. I'm not against it, but I don't own one. And if there were stricter laws, to me, it just makes it more appealing. Like, because if you look at the states that legalize marijuana, there's not that much drug activity when it comes to marijuana anymore. It's not appealing.
Yeah, teen use in all the states that legalized it dropped by like 80%.
Yeah, because no one has to go to anymore.
Yeah, it's not the illegal, It doesn't.
No one has to go to Jesus on the fucking hood or whatever. They can walk into the dispensary.
Oh, I love how they're taking out the last name of the guy too. Did you guys notice that? Because his name is
the school shooter kid?
Yeah.
He looks like a school shooter. Look at him.
But his last name is Hispanic, and they've been cutting out his last name and just using his first name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because his first name is just like Nicholas or something like that, but it's Nicholas De La Cruz, Santana or something. It's something like that, and yeah,
that's racist as fuck, Pete. De La Cruz Santana.
I can't believe it.
It's Taco Bell.
No, I think it's
El Pollo Loco.
Del Grande.
Cruz is part of it. Yeah, it's Nicholas something Cruz or something.
Ted Cruz is like relative.
Ted's like, this ain't my kid, man. What's crazy is this kid actually they already knew that something was wrong with this kid, because last year they banned that kid from coming on school property with a backpack. Like, he was not allowed on the property if he had a backpack on. I mean, so they already knew that there was something wrong with this guy. But, like, they just, I guess I thought, well, banning him is going to be good enough because he sure would not come on school property if we banned him. Like, that just doesn't happen.
It makes it more appealing.
People follow rules, you know? That's just the way. Oh, it blows my mind because who obeys laws? Law-abiding citizens.
I do, mostly.
Yeah, but law-abiding citizens. Anybody who has the mentality to go out and kill people aren't law-abiding citizens, so therefore no law is going to stop them from doing what they want to do.
I like food and pussy too much in video games. I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, if they put like a PlayStation in prison, I'd be like, I could probably deal with that.
I would straight walk up to a cop and flip him off. I mean, I don't care.
But now that since I don't have video games, I'd be like, I
can't smoke in prisons anymore either. So fuck that.
Oh, I'd die. Well, somebody else would probably. Because it ain't pretty, like, having people like not be able to smoke.
It's not pretty.
They may as well let prisoners smoke. I mean, fuck, they're just killing themselves. Why not?
Yeah.
You want to keep the prisoner alive?
I wish they would have killed this kid, though.
He killed how many people?
21 or 20.
So many different numbers, man. Earlier today, it was 16 or something like that.
Last I saw, it was 20. 21 injured, though. Like, 20 dead.
Damn.
Well, Cyrus, I mean, there's a false flag doesn't mean like it doesn't always mean that it didn't happen. It could be a false flag in the sense that it was a setup thing. Like they knew it was going to happen and they allowed it to happen in order to push an agenda.
Yeah.
Like 9/11, I think, was a false flag. Not that people didn't lose their lives, but I think the government knew it was going to happen, allowed it to happen in order to get what they wanted in return, is to go to war.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was, like, false flags aren't always meaning that the whole situation's false, just that the premise of how they became the situation.
Definitely, like, just careless and not enough was done to stop something like 9/11. It was like, okay, if it's got to happen, it's got to happen, kind of thing.
When they knew, I mean, there's been plenty of evidence that the government knew that there was a credible threat, and they just simply ignored it. But they ended up getting it because they wanted to go to war prior to it happened, and all of a sudden they got their war, and I'm like, yeah, that. I don't know how the people can't see that. You know, that was like a
totally off subject real quick, but was Castle Crashers any good? The remastered one?
Yes, Castle Crashers is a great game.
Okay, well, we own it then.
Sweet. I owned it on PC and PlayStation 3 and now PS4.
King of Fighters 2002 is free on Good Old Games.
I mean,
what was that?
Well, Cyrus. Oh,
King of Fighters 2002 is free on Good Old Games for another day or so.
I got to go pick up on that. I wish I had 1250 or whatever Blaz Blues on here.
Okay, see, Cyrus, that's what you're not understanding what we're saying. It's not that the 6-year-olds were fake and it's like Sandy Hook. Is that it's almost like that because like just like Hillary Clinton, like anybody who's actually ever gone after Hillary Clinton, like with dirt, has ended up mysteriously dead. But it's like if the anti-gun lobby wants to create a stir to get their anti-gun message passed, what better way to get that to pull at the heartstrings of America than to have kids die? They might look at it as the life of the few to protect the many. And I mean, it's a sad situation, but you'd be surprised on how crazy some of these gun nuts or anti-gun nuts are to get their point across. And that's where they come up with false flag. It's not so much that the kids are fake or that the whole deaths are fake or anything like that. It's just that they set up the situation in order for them to actually get. I don't think that the government. I wouldn't say that the government knew, but somebody did. I think that the whole Sandy Hook situation. If you look at it, like there was different guns that they decided to like say used, and like come to find out the AR-15 was actually in his car the whole time. It wasn't actually used in the school. It was seriously. There's too many mishaps with the information. It should be a cut and dry. I mean, the car's still there, the guns are still there, the guy's dead inside the school, the guns he used are still inside the school. It's a cut and dry thing. But how do you get misinformation so many times? Look at the whole situation with Vegas. That was a false flag, I think, because if you look at Vegas, one guy couldn't have pulled that off. There's been too many reports of like somebody like saying there's a chopper that was shooting.
Dude, his girlfriend had something to do with it.
Whose?
Well, there was videos where there were flashes coming from different rooms too.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. The first Facebook video, the very first Facebook video that was put out, it showed flashes coming out of a window from another point from where the original shooter was being. You know, people were saying he was at. So that's why I like at the very beginning I was like, yo, there was more than one shooter. Like, there had to have been more than one shooter.
Bro, there was like 50, 60 people dead? One person is not capable of that.
Well,
but then
he did have a shit ton of guns, so, I mean...
Yeah, but then you look at it, but, I mean, okay, first of all, if you're going there to commit all this murder, who's going to have their guns just stacked everywhere? Like, in nice and neat, like, they're like, all their clips are stacked up in a very OCD form.
Bro, I think the employee was in on it with him, dude. The employee
But then their guns are just scattered all over the whole place. Like, just in random order, random places. And then he only uses one gun. They say that he's using a semi-automatic, but he's using an actual fully automatic. There's a semi-automatic, even at 120 rounds. I think that they said the clip was like 120 rounds. You can actually count off the rounds that are going through that thing on that video, and there's well over 120 at one time. Like, it doesn't stop. And if you are one single person, you can only go as long as that magazine will let you. Then you have to stop, reload, or put another magazine in, and then
because bitch, he got extendos.
Oh God! Shut up.
So I mean, it was definitely to me a belt fed gun if he did it alone, but
no extendos, not belt fed.
If you look at it though, all of a sudden, like, we know nothing about the Vegas shooting. It just was this guy did it, he's dead, and we just don't talk about it anymore. Like, it's completely gone. Like it's almost like it just never happened.
Yeah.
Especially because it was a white guy.
So Cyrus,
and they usually go hard on if it's a white guy. I mean, we don't hear the end of it for months.
Cyrus, before you're out on it, I have to ask you: do you not think the government has ever killed its American citizens in order to go to war, or in order to get an agenda put across?
I mean, Waco, Texas. That was the Clinton administration.
Our own country developed viruses for chemical warfare. I mean, that's not far fetched, you know.
No, I mean, there's been a lot of covert operators that come out of like whistleblowers, but not to the point of like identifying themselves. But
look at what they used to call crows, agents that were trying to manipulate other countries' government and economy. Like, they were literally sent there to sabotage a country's success, so that way we could go in, take over, have them conform to us, and then they become a part of us. I mean, they were doing this for years.
Yeah, the government works in like
really fucked up ways.
Yeah, the government will clearly kill its own citizens in order to get what they want achieved, if that's what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't trust the government no matter who's in it.
Well, shit. Even Malcolm X said, "By any means necessary." You think he was just talking about him and black people? No. And
Garuda, that's funny because I don't think with mass shootings you really have to worry too much about it being a black person, that doesn't seem to be their MO. Like it's it's almost like a white specific crime.
Right.
It's really weird. Like white people are like, fuck it, we're just gonna go kill a bunch of people. Black
more
people
proof,
like,
more proof we're better at everything, right?
Yeah, black people are just like, we're just gonna kill people. We're just gonna kill people in our hood. Like fuck it. Make some vacancies in our neighborhood.
That nigga on my turf.
Oh, we're not trying to sell anything, Cyrus. We're just kind of discussing the possibilities. That's all.
Oh yeah.
You don't need to buy into anything.
Yeah, I'm not. They're just when things should be very cut and dry, and they all of a sudden become very convoluted and a lot of misinformation, even from the people reporting on the scene. I'm not talking about the reporters, but the actual investigators, the police department, and the stories keep changing and everything else, and about like what weapon
and
they
missing
use
info.
Missing info.
There's no reason for it to be missing. Yeah.
There's just too much weird shit happening like that with these shootings that there's got to be a reason for it. Like I've not found an accurate, just like damn near okay. Well, Sally knew about it and she just didn't do anything. I haven't been able to. Anybody's been able to pinpoint it, but there's definitely something up with them. It's not that hard. If I walked into Walmart and started shooting people and I killed myself inside a Walmart, it's not hard even if I killed everybody there to figure out what gun I used and which door I walked in. Like it's just not that hard. And to have that happen and all of a sudden they're like, well, he used an AR-15 and then he used a shotgun. Well, then he used a handgun and then come to find out it was like a fucking 22. It's just too much weird information going around. And it's unfortunate. I mean, it's kind of scary because it really puts distrust in a lot of different things.
Even the school shooting, dude, he used an M1911. How many shots does that hold?
7.
Like what, 12? Oh, 7?
Oh,
That's
7.
Okay. Yeah.
That's 45 in a single stack. They are not large magazines.
Then he must have had more than one magazine. Shit, I mean, for 20 people to be dead, 7 bullets. I mean, he's not Deadpool. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, well, you're just going to have to share. Let's count them down. It wasn't like that scene.
Like I said, I strongly think a lot of what goes on in our country when it comes to these shootings, it has something or another to do with our government agencies. We have, what is it? They said they have like 6 government agencies that we don't even know about. Like we don't even know the names of. Like, come the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is that the covert agencies can't talk to each other because they're covert. So we have so much overlap. There have been so many times where one agency will infiltrate a group and then basically start. I mean, not start. It's obviously the original terrorists that come up with the initial plan or whatever. But they will guide those guys into setting up an attack so that they can bust them. But then another organization like the FBI will then bust the group, and they will be busting not only the bad guys, but then all of that other organization as well. There's tons of examples of it happening.
I was just gonna say, like the friendly fire has been a huge thing in our country, based on that shit alone.
That and Sandy Hook, like it was really odd to me that the government, like CIA, ran school shooting drills and urban warfare drills, and then all of a sudden we had a school shooting. It was like, that seemed, because they actually held the drill at a elementary school, and then all of a sudden we had an elementary school shooting. It was just kind of like there's too many just weird coincidences, and I really don't believe in coincidences. Like this shit happens for a reason. Like there's a connection usually.
I believe it.
I just don't have the time or the energy to really go digging into it because, like what somebody said, like I think it was Chris said that you can get into a rabbit hole and never come out.
And you got to sift through all the, because a lot of it is just straight up conspiracy theory, and that's the problem. You got to figure out which is the actual stuff and which is just the crazy, because just look at 9/11 and the jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams and all this. I mean, there's definitely parts of 9/11 that just don't make any sense whatsoever. But the shit that some people have gone on about, I mean, they're pulling out just absolute bullshit that it's like, okay, guys,
what was that shit in 9/11? Like Bush fucking ordered all planes in the United States to be grounded before we even found out about the towers going to come down? Hours before? I
don't even know.
You didn't hear about that? Like, yeah, all planes were ordered to be grounded in the United States. That means all airlines were not allowed to be in the air hours before 9/11 even happened. Like,
I don't know.
Ain't that some crazy shit when you think about that? When you think about it, I mean, no, that was something that was actually publicized. It was a pretty big thing. In fact, I think he even went under investigation over it because of his whole ties with his family and the Bin Ladens. Like, he was under investigation for a little while about it.
Go get it. It's not that jet fuel can't melt steel. Because steel melts at I think it's 2200 or something like that, and jet fuel burns at
1700,
something like that. But here's the thing: you heat steel up to 500 degrees, and it's already lost 70% of its tensile strength. And that's the kind of thing where these idiots jet fuel can't melt steel beams. It's no, yeah, fine, maybe it can't, but it can weaken
destroy them.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get. These buildings can't handle 3-4 times the load that they were designed for the load they were designed for. And so if you weaken that steel, probably not even by all that much.
No, just even a little bit. Dude.
Yeah, then bam. I mean, that's the kind of, and it's that's the kind of conspiracy shit that just everything gets lost in it because these idiots just come out with these theories, and it's oh well, this is, dude, God.
That's the reason why I personally won't go into try to figure out what actually maybe even took place, is because you can get yourself to where you can't get out of the conspiracy theory. You can really warp your own brain trying to figure out if something was off.
Yeah.
Because there's so much shit and so much information you read, and some people know how to make the shit look so fucking believable that they're it's too hard to doubt. So you're just that's 100% fact. It's got to be. And then you're starting to believe weird shit that you're starting to believe that aliens came down and pulled one of the World Trade Centers out of the ground and took off with
it. And what was that one theory of the jet fuel where they said when you looked at the beams at ground zero that were on the very base, they actually looked like they were cut. They didn't look like they were.
And they had det cord or something on them. Yeah.
Yeah, they had det cord.
Yeah, and that's the thing is because when the buildings came down, they came down straight down like a pancake, and the only way to bring that actually happen
for that to happen from the bottom
is from a controlled detonation.
Yeah, the det cord.
Yeah, because if anything else hits the building or brings the building down, that's the reason why they have to do these controlled demolitions, is because they can make the building just collapse within itself rather than fall into the street and kill somebody.
Yeah, there's engineers that actually set these things up just for that. Yeah.
Right. And so when these buildings came down, they just came down directly pancaked right on top of each other it was a controlled detonation. And that's what to me is fishy about 9/11, because if the top floor is where the weak part was, how did it just collapse straight down? I mean, perfectly straight down. That's too odd to explain. I can get the whole jet fuel weakens the beams.
Really, the bottom of that building shouldn't have been affected.
No. Well, the way I see it, that could have happened was because they are designed to withstand planes hitting them, right? That was something that was accounted for. But so the plane hits them, and that weakens it a little, but it's not going to knock it over or anything. And then the jet fuel and all that explodes, which then weakens all of the beams and support structures on the level that it hit. And it didn't exactly hit at the top floor. There was quite a bit above it. So once all that stuff gets weakened, and it'll weaken at about the same rate because the fire will just, burn practically, especially from the plane exploding, that all that fire is just going to go and then light everything around it on fire. all those steel and all this stuff gets weakened, and then those top floors will all just start collapsing down because the
top floors,
where they hit.
Yeah, top floors.
But that's it. As soon as that starts collapsing, the weight will. I mean, that's a lot of force coming down. It's no longer just the weight.
Yeah, but
now it's got momentum.
Right, but that momentum. But I still wouldn't think that entire building, with the momentum, wouldn't have tilted it at any point in time out into the street or anything like that. I mean, that thing literally came down just like a perfect demolition does whenever they implode something.
Watch the demolition of the old Yankee Stadium and then look at 9/11.
It looks exactly the same. Like it looks like it crumbled from the inside out. Like inside, yeah, basically inside out to where it just basically all falls down. And I get that the top floors would fall down, but by the time you get to, like, say, the middle or whatever, it would at least start swaying just a tiny bit. This thing didn't sway at all. It just went straight.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about structural engineering.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm just like outside looking in. I'm definitely not skilled enough in the area to actually be able to make a true assessment. But
no, but I mean,
seems weird.
If you look at the reports, though, like because a lot of those reports, like by professionals, were released. So when you go look at those, it's like,
Yeah, there was actually big time reports saying that that there was no way for that to actually happen with that building. And Cyrus, that's not true. That demolitions don't look like that because gravity pulls things straight down. They do. It's built. They look like that is because they built these structures specifically for that, and they know exactly where to place the explosions on these structures to make that happen. That's the reason why they do that, is because they know exactly where the weak points are, where to place the explosives, where to do everything to make that happen. But
it is more than just gravity.
Yeah. I mean, because you can't, I can't just go to, like, say, any building and park a truck underneath it, and make the bomb explode, and the building just comes straight down on top of me. It would buckle out and everything else, because I don't know. I didn't put anything on the structures and everything like that. Well, yeah, but Cyrus,
but it'll only pull them straight down if the supports all collapse at the same time.
Go to build a card tower, or a Jenga tower, and weaken the Jenga tower or weaken the card tower, and tell me if the gravity pulls that Jenga tower or card tower straight down, or if it goes out to the left or goes out to the right. Gravity, yes, it pulls it down, but momentum will swing it out to the right. But that's the reason why those implosions are just perfectly aligned to make it go straight down, because they weaken every beam at the exact same time.
Well, moving back on to some game stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a topic that you can get sucked into for
we could do like 10 podcasts.
Days. Yeah.
Incel Games Limited has been removed from Steam because they were caught manipulating their review scores.
Oh, dear Lord. What? Why do they do that whenever they know for a fact that you can get caught? Because they built the system to catch that.
So wait, who got removed?
Incel Games Limited, and I guess what was their Wildbuster is, I think, either one of their newest ones or one of their more popular ones. But it's INSEL Games Limited. Let's see if I can find a few more of the games that they've. I guess. Oh wow. They're saying that the CEO threatened their employees to force them to put positive reviews up, and then I guess, I don't know, Steam or somebody had evidence, and they were found that the company had a whole bunch of accounts that were owned by the company that were giving themselves positive reviews.
I don't know, they have the system built to where they can tell if that happens. I don't know why companies try to think that they're going to be the outlier that gets away with it. There's been a lot of companies they've caught doing that.
Guardians of Ember is another game. and the recently released Wild Buster. But apparently the Steam stripped Valve cut their whole library out of Steam.
Shit.
Although if you already have the games, then they'll still be available for you. I don't know about downloading them, but you'll at least be able to play them if you have them.
These fucking people, man.
Yeah, right.
Some possible good news is that Disney is actually in talks with Ubisoft or Activision to take over the Star Wars license.
Yep.
Wait, looking into Ubisoft to do it?
Yeah, Ubisoft or Activision to take over the Star Wars license.
Please Activision.
Colossal. I'd rather take Ubisoft, because Ubisoft, we'd actually get a decent single-player Star Wars game.
Activision makes good single-player, though.
Yeah, they do.
Call of Duty, man. Their single-players are great.
Yeah, but I mean, you can tell that Call of Duty's games are built around the multiplayer. I'm talking about just a straight single-player game, like Assassin's Creed, straight single-player. We need a Star Wars game that is just straight single player, no multiplayer involved, just a straight single player Star Wars story. At least one. We were discussing it. I forgot, in our writers chat, but I was thinking that the three companies that I would have chose would be Ubisoft, Square Enix, or Sony. And not
Square Enix
Sony
would be good.
Not Sony for the exclusive part, but Sony for they have the great studios that can make great games.
Sucker Punch,
or Naughty Dog, or could you imagine a Star Wars game with a Naughty Dog being the lead writer?
That would be dope.
Yeah, it would be almost as good as Gears of War.
I was hearing people say Bethesda.
Oh god,
that actually kind of sounded pretty cool to have maybe a Skyrim style.
No. Not with them
developing
so? It. Well, no. But, I mean, there'd be so many fucking bugs in it, be able to enjoy it.
But have them license it to their, the Doom
team. They would have to get machine
the
games
Doom team,
or something like that.
Doom team, yes, I could get behind the Doom team because Doom was really
not
good.
Bethesda, yeah, but just not
Bethesda.
But an open world Skyrim style Star Wars game with maybe multiple planets and shit like that.
By the Doom team, yes.
That would be fucking awesome.
But if Bethesda is just publishing it, cool. If Bethesda is developing it, no, I'd rather have EA do it. You'd be playing, and your lightsaber wouldn't even pop out. It'd just be a clusterfuck. They for some reason cannot develop games.
Garuda says, "What about Capcom?" I'm like,
It'd be kind of a weird.
It would be kind of weird. Can you imagine a Star Wars game on that engine? That would be too strange, dude. That'd be like, I don't know.
Or what? It'd be I don't know. I'm trying to picture
neon fluorescent colors.
I'm trying to picture that Capcom Star Wars game. It would be weird.
Yeah, the team behind Rage. Yeah, Rage was a great game. Yeah,
Rage. Yeah.
I never played Rage, so I don't know.
It was fun. Little less open worldy than
missing out,
Fallout.
Gears of War hater.
Huh?
What?
I just heard Gears of War hater, and I'm like,
Rambo.
I can't help it that I like quality games.
CNN is.
We're never going to see eye to eye on that one. It's just not going to happen.
Not with Gears. I mean,
it's better than Halo.
Well, I mean, that's really not saying much.
I was going to say, I agree with that, but yeah, that's not exactly a high bar.
No, I mean,
Halo is an extremely high bar.
What?
I mean, it was a good game, but
the early Halos, yes, maybe, but these later Halos.
Even then, I really don't understand why people. I mean, I get it.
I don't understand the first one. The first one was just, to me, garbage. But the second
one, the story was
good.
Cool. The aesthetics were cool. The guns and the aliens. I get all that, right? But it's not exactly like it was a revolutionary game. I mean, it was just an average shooter, but it was just one of the best done ones on consoles.
I don't know, the second one was better.
I don't fucking know you people anymore.
But if you're trying to set the bar toward the later Halos, I mean, that's like saying it's just better than the piece of shit that's lying.
Halo 5 is amazing. That is the only one other than 4, maybe. I would go back and play on the highest difficulty.
Jeez, Shane, we are gonna have to introduce you to quality.
I know, right? Gears of War would be better if Naughty Dog made it.
It'd be better if EA made it.
Oh God, no.
All right, Rambo. I'm not sure we can be friends anymore.
No, Gears. I don't know. Gears and Halo just like they. You can just tell to me that, like, those two franchises were made for their multiplayer. Like they just didn't.
That's not a bad thing to 90% of gamers. Just to you, Rambo.
I know. I'm not saying that, but like to say that the Halo 5 campaign or the Gears 4 campaign was some sort of like it's just not. Like they're like the multiplayer might be like perfect, but the story, like I'm sure there's indie developers out there that could do a better story than what was in Gears 4 and Halo 5.
Okay. Well, earlier you guys were talking about. Let's just change the subject. You guys were talking about like PlayStation and Xbox and stuff, and what I was trying to get in, but I'm dog sitting right now, and it is what it is. Was with PlayStation 3, I regret not waiting and just being patient. Like I ditched my PlayStation 3 because of like the hacking deal, and just to me. The online was not quality enough.
Yeah. I mean, the online was terrible on PS3.
I regret ditching it because if I had just been patient, toward the end of the PS3, it got pretty good. I mean, you could tell that their next console they were going to come out with was going to be top-notch with how good the PS3 was at the end of the generation. So that's why I'm not ditching my Xbox. Like, oh, shit, stream just... No, it's back.
That's the thing, though, with PlayStation, is that they had the studios to combat the shit that they started. And Xbox doesn't have the studios to do it.
Stream's dead, bro.
Ah, crap.
You've got to be fucking kidding.
Oh, nope.
Oh, no, it's back.
I was going to say.
So that's why I have not and will not ditch my Xbox. I'm going to be patient this time. And I'm going to see what it turns into.
I mean, okay, but I mean, since the stream didn't get to hear me or whatever, that's the difference, like, with Xbox and with PlayStation. We've talked about this, well, at least I've talked about this before with other people. I'm not sure if we have or not. But PlayStation had the studios, like, while they were, like, they had a shit launch, and they were starting to, like, acquire studios. They were doing whatever they needed to do to build up their portfolio and first party.
I'm going to stop you right there, Rambo. You said acquire studios. What is trying to do right now? But you have bad things to say about that. You're like, they're just buying exclusives.
I have yet to see them actually do it.
But they're trying.
Are they?
Yes.
Other studios are buying studios. Like THQ Nordic bought Koch Enterprises games, and I didn't hear Microsoft in for the bid. We haven't seen any. We've only seen talk from Xbox. We have not seen any action at all. I don't mind if they buy games that are and make them exclusive. They're going to have to in order to do anything with this generation. There's no problem I have with, like, even Phil Spencer buying, like, timed exclusives or anything. I have no problem with that.
But you've said in the past that you do. Yes. Has he not, Brim?
Yes, and the reason why is because he came out and said he thinks that's bad for the business. Basically putting down Sony for doing the exact same thing, but now all of a sudden, like, his heels on the burner, he's like, okay, well, it's not so bad for the business now. Like, that's the hypocritical part is what I have a problem with. I don't mind the action because I understand it completely. Like, that's what consoles always been about. It's either timed exclusives or just full-on exclusives and buying them. But what I have a problem with is the hypocritical part of him that came out and was kind of like bashing if you can't have this skin on all the consoles, then that's bad. But, I mean, it's bad to keep a skin away from another console, but by God, we can keep a whole fucking game away from it. Like, that to me is is very hypocritical. I don't mind that he's doing it. I fully understand it. I would actually enjoy it because then I would actually have some games to play on my Xbox. But I have a problem with the being because to me it's being a hypocrite. It's either bad for the business or it's not, or it's good for the business.
Yeah, the stream is cutting out bad, Brim.
Yeah, because my phone keeps like unpausing it and pausing it. Problem.
I could do it too.
Alright, I think we're live.
Oh.
Yeah, because wow, is that Windows 95?
Yeah. But no, I mean, not like whenever we were talking about the Microsoft thing, don't get me wrong, I don't mind Microsoft doing that. I just mind the hypocritical nature of Phil Spencer. That's the reason why you got to be careful with what you come out and say. You have to be careful with what you come out and say publicly because it might turn around and bite you in the ass later on. It's kind of like a lot of these fanboys. 900p is perfectly fine. 900p is perfectly fine. I can't tell the difference between 720p and 1080p. It's all about 4K, boys. You're in the 1800p, the soupy mess, but it's all that 2160p. You know, like all of a sudden, like that's the hypocrite part of them. But then you like same thing with Phil Spencer is like you got to be careful what you come out and say publicly to like protect your brand or whatever. And then because you might end up having to be in that situation where you're doing it.
Well, like I've said before, I don't remember who agreed with me or if anyone agreed with me, is that since being an Xbox gamer for the last three or 4 years, I've noticed that they can be full of surprises. So I'm not giving up till the fat lady sings.
Oh, I wouldn't suggest that you do give up. Me personally, I've boxed my Xbox up because I'm to the point of like show me, I'll pull it out and play. Otherwise, you're doing nothing besides talking.
So you live in Missouri, you're the show me state now.
I just at this point I have no faith in Microsoft whatsoever. Like they've been talking all this good talk for 3 years and I've not seen anything fruitful come out of it.
Brimstone and I can share custody of your Xbox One X if you'd like, right?
You're not the only person. There was actually Seventh Level was like, you can always send it down to Texas, and I can get some of these reviews done. Everybody's like, yeah, it's kind of hard just to part with the $500, product, but
you don't have any problem with it. You've done it before, so I mean,
yeah, there's a big difference between parting with I don't know. I really just want them like to me I've always said if you're an Xbox gamer and that's your primary console, you probably don't see as large of a problem as the next guy. But if you've bought the
like
Xbox,
your Sony thing, can we admit to that? Yeah.
My Sony thing.
That's your primary console. You don't see a big problem with it. Like Metrox doesn't see a big problem with Nintendo.
I'm more referring to the game situation. I don't know what problem. I don't have a problem with Microsoft other than the fact that they have no games.
I'm playing a game right now. I mean.
Well, yeah. I mean, no exclusives. Excuse me. Or very few of them. But when it comes to like if you bought an Xbox to play exclusives on, there's plenty of reason to be complaining because not only have you bought the Xbox One, but you bought the Xbox One S, and then you bought the Xbox One X, and then you still have like maybe 3 or 4 games total that year to play.
Well, if you got the Fat Boy base model, there's no reason for an S. None.
It looks better. And it has a 4K Blu-ray player.
Well, we saw how that 4K Blu-ray player thing worked for you, didn't we? I mean,
yeah, it didn't work. But
see,
okay then. Yeah.
I didn't know that prior to buying it. Like I bought it thinking, hell, I was gonna get to watch my 4K movies until it decided, well, not this one. Guys, like we play them, but just don't look to play all of them, okay? Just can you pick another one, please? Like that was the problem I had with that. But other than the thing's going down again. It's pinwheeling.
Oh.
It is Suddenlink.
It's fucking Suddenlink because I'm green. If you guys want to keep going, Pete's gonna have to take over.
Yep, Pete. I guess we're like, what are you on? Comcast?
Yeah. Comcast.
All right, we're gonna.
No, that was for Rambo.
Oh. So is the stream running? Because like I'm hitting live and it's pinwheeling.
I'm looking at it and it's going fine.
That Windows 95 picture has not. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, to me, like whenever I hit live, it's just pinwheeling. Like it's not playing at all. Usually it'll catch up and play, but.
Yeah, no, I still see Tweet Rambo Hog and Dog pics scrolling at the bottom. I mean, so.
With you
I
gone
didn't even pay attention to that. Yeah.
Riding a Tide pod wheel.
I took a picture on my phone next to some food. I put a bag of Tide Pods, and I'm gonna tweet it out, and it's just gonna say decisions and a bunch of periods. So, you guys keep a look out for that one.
The new edible arrangements, where it's Tide Pods on sticks in a vase with some flowers.
Have you seen the Twix Pods?
Yeah.
Wait, that's an actual thing?
No, I don't think so. I think that somebody just made it. And, but if you bought an Xbox and then for your primary and then bought a PlayStation for exclusives, you're a happy gamer. You have plenty to play on both. If you did it vice versa, you're not really that much of a happy gamer. At least with the Xbox, because you don't really have a lot to play.
Then explain to me why I have like 300 games I haven't touched.
Because you're an Xbox gamer.
They have no games though. I shouldn't have.
No, you are an Xbox gamer, so therefore you play all your games, multiplats and exclusives on there. But if you were to be a PlayStation gamer or even a Nintendo gamer, or before they switched everything to PC, you were a PC gamer, and you bought the Xbox for exclusives only, you barely ever have to turn that console on, because they've gone from like 6 to 8 exclusives to like 3 or 4 a year. Like it's just that there's barely any output. Whereas if you're like, say, if you like have a PlayStation for exclusives, sometimes like there's some months where you wouldn't even get to turn on like another console at all, because they've released like 8 exclusives in that 1 month.
We own BlazBlue now.
Oh, yep, gonna go download that.
I mean, obviously, when people say, God, okay, Kid Smooth, okay, I'm gonna have to, like, dumb you down there a little bit, because when people say Xbox has no games, they don't mean obviously we know they have third-party games. When people say Xbox has no games, they mean like no exclusives, because it's very dry exclusive wise.
Man, he calls you Kid Smooth. That's fighting.
Well, like his, I already told him I'm not sure if we're friends anymore. So I mean,
I have 300 and some games on Xbox, but the majority of them are multiplats.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with multiplats.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with multiplats, but when you didn't buy the console to play multiplats, there's a problem with having to buy multiplats just so you can play the damn system.
His voice just cracked when he said that.
Like I've had to resort to buying games twice. Once on PlayStation so that way I can get the trophies, and then to play them again on Xbox so that way I have a reason to play my Xbox. Because I can go months without having an exclusive game on there.
Yeah, Shane.
I just buy consoles to play games. I mean, whether they're exclusive or not, I'm still going to play them.
Right, but if I'm already playing them on my primary platform, then you don't necessarily buy your secondary platform to play exactly what you're playing on your primary platform.
Anybody else waiting for his voice to crack again? I am.
You've got to be able to see that. You buy all your games on Xbox. You have a PlayStation in your house. Like you wouldn't really go out and buy all those games on your Xbox on your PlayStation to play that too there, right?
PlayStation right now.
But you know what I mean, right? You wouldn't do that, right?
Right.
You would buy, if you're going to play anything on the PlayStation, it would be an exclusive, because otherwise you already have access to it on your Xbox.
Oh yeah, my friends are on Xbox.
Right. So that's the reason why, like, if you are a non-Xbox gamer and you bought the Xbox just for exclusives because you play your games every other game, all these multiplats on your other console, then you rarely ever turn your Xbox on because they don't have very many exclusives. They used to have a ton, and now they've just gone to, well, we might get you one out there by, fall. We don't know. And the only ones you can count on are Forza, Halo, Gears.
Yeah, I kind of like those games, so I'm good with that.
See, I could not. I would hate PlayStation if the only thing I could play was Uncharted, God of War, and Infamous.
No, I think.
And I love those games.
I think you'd still buy it though.
I wouldn't if it was like that every single other year. Like that's what that's Xbox all I got to play exclusive wise.
You got Crackdown this year, Sea of Thieves. Some kind of Halo thing is going to drop.
I don't even think a Halo game is going to drop this year. Because they said they were working on that mixed reality game before they were working on another console game. And as far as I know, that mixed reality game hasn't came out yet.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned from gaming for so long, it's that they're fucking liars. So, I don't know, man. You can't give up hope, and you have done that quite a few times now.
It's very, very easily to do with Xbox. For my type of use of Xbox.
Willpower, man.
I have plenty of that for the platform that delivers everything I need to me. Like me, I don't care. Like for Xbox to get me interested in their platform, they're gonna have to start releasing some single player games. And you can't count. I'm not counting Gears and Halo as single player games because those are typically shorter campaigns because they focus on the multiplayer.
Coming
like
from
Call
the
of Duty
dude that buys games for easy, fast platinums.
Right. But they're not online games. I have no interest in online games. And it's not like I pay attention to the game that is like I'm playing for an hour and then I get the platinum. Like a Gears game or a Halo game, which it takes about 6 to 8 hours to get through. Well, that's not, I mean, I don't know. To me, if I want a single player game, I'm looking for a 10, 12, sometimes even 30-hour game. Like this new God of War coming out, it's supposed to be 35 hours to beat it.
To beat it or platinum it?
To beat it. He said, Corey Barlog said it'll take 25 to 35 hours to beat the game. Not 100% it, but to beat the game. That's a single.
Thank you, Suddenlink, for giving me a 4 megabit connection down with a 27 megabit connection up. The fuck is this?
27 up, 4 down?
4 down.
The fuck?
You still got Netflix.
They live in a reverse world.
Right?
I live in the upside down world.
Yeah. Where up is really down and down is really up. So he's really good. It just sounds weird to us.
Exactly. Or my favorite part so far right now is I'm connecting to Prescott, Arizona at 18 milliseconds. And it's a further trip. It's like 130 miles versus Vegas, which is like 40. And with Vegas, I was getting like 30 ping. Like, what the fuck? I am so confused right now. I don't get it. I'm so
Join the dark side, Brem. Comcast may suck, but at least their connection's pretty stable.
Comcast isn't out here.
He's right. It's not. Sunlink's the only thing out here.
Yeah, and Krista, I'll go for the
Cox
platinum.
Is coming out here?
Mm-hmm.
Are they any good?
Yeah, I mean they are, but
Cox. I don't.
So you're saying Cox is good, Sharon?
No, I'm saying I'm not gonna go pay my Cox bill every month. I'd sound like a fucking idiot.
So, Cox!
Hey, you got any money? No, I have to pay for my Cox. Wait, what?
Well, it's pretty telling that you wouldn't just call him cable. You actually would call him Cox.
Yeah, I don't have cable TV, and I never will again.
Cable doesn't just mean TV.
It does to me.
I would love to get Google Fiber. But Chris, yeah, I'll go for the platinum no matter how long the game is. But like, would you consider Call of Duty a single player game?
Yes.
You really would.
It has single player on there. Launch the game. I bet you it says single player on the
menu. If you crave for single player experiences, you would be satisfied with the Call of Duty campaign.
I am. Yeah, I love their campaign.
Yeah, would you consider Uncharted a single player game?
It's a hell of a lot longer than Call of Duty.
It's got a multiplayer on there, so nope.
There's a big difference between Call of Duty's multiplayer and Uncharted.
You want to say focused? Okay, yeah, fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. There's
Call of Duty is more multiplayer focused, and Last of Us is single player focused. But they are still. I mean, it's not like they don't spend. I mean, they spend a lot of time on those campaigns because I mean they're good. Well, they got good stories. They got good characters.
Besides Black Ops 3,
the gay rapist voice actor character in Advanced War. Oh, Kevin Spacey.
There's been plenty of fails all around the Call of Duty series. So I'm not gonna make no bones about that. But on the whole, I've always loved their single. Even though the ones I hate the multiplayer, I've usually loved the single player.
If that's all you could get for your single player experience is a COD campaign, would you be satisfied? If you were a single player gamer, like you didn't play multiplayer, and that type of campaign was the only thing you could count as your single player experience from your exclusives, would you be okay with that?
Probably not.
It would be a little, it would be a little on the short side.
Okay, so that's what I'm referring to whenever I say that, like Halo and Gears, to me aren't.
Gears is not a 10-hour campaign, not Gears 4.
They don't. Gears of War was a 10-hour campaign.
No, it isn't.
I know it's like a 6 to 8 hour campaign.
No, Gears 4 is easily 11 to 12.
I beat that thing in 8 hours.
Then you ran through it on the regular difficulty.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I shouldn't have to like increase the difficulty to where like it becomes frustrating, so that way it all of a sudden becomes a 10-hour game.
You could simply play it on regular difficulty and just take your time and absorb the story.
If there was one, I probably could.
I'm fucking done.
Call of Duty has a better story than Gears. Like Activision or whoever makes Call of Duty campaigns, whichever company of the three, they make a better story and a more like where you care more about the character development and stuff than I feel in Gears. Like I just don't give a shit about any of the characters in Gears.
You monster.
They could literally come out with a different set of characters every single Gears campaign. I'd be like, okay, nothing's different.
Modern Warfare does have best characters.
Yeah, the characters in Modern Warfare are pretty good.
Captain Price, man, what a fucking boss.
But see, like you have like say the Uncharted, the Last of Us, the Infamous series, like the 1 and 2, the third one, like the First Son or Second Son or whatever. We'll have to see if they actually build anything off of that. But you cared about the character in Infamous 1 and 2. Uncharted, like shit, that was like you were almost like living his whole life with him, because you saw them going from reporter to treasure finder to dating to having problems to married to all of a sudden at the end having a kid. Like there was a huge like story arc throughout the whole entire series, not just the one game. And then you have like The Last of Us, like that was just an emotional journey, like all together in just one fucking game. And now they're having a second one come out, and like it's just you already know you're going to be in for an emotional roller coaster, and you really care about like, is Joel dead? Is Joel alive? Is Ellie going to die? You know, like what's going to happen? I don't have any of that attachment to any of those Gears characters or Halo. Like if.
Oh, come on, man. I really cared about Master Chief.
Master Chief and Cortana have a very special bond that's hard to find in any other game.
Bullshit. Titanfall 2.
Okay, that's one of
Pilot
the exceptions.
and BT. Yeah.
Nathan Drake and Elena.
I don't even know who Elena is, so.
His wife. You should play the Uncharted series.
I've played number 2.
You should play 1 through 4, and then you'll see the whole entire story arc of them. And it's a fascinating thing to watch how they grow as a couple and grow as a development team.
That sounds like a blast. We should do that, Shane.
Well, Nathan Drake said, well, not Nathan Drake. Nolan North said that whenever he made Uncharted 1, he was immediately looking for another job because he never expected it to ever do anything besides just, it wasn't really ever Uncharted 1. It was just Uncharted. And then when they called him back for the second one, he's like, it all of a sudden became a thing like that was their livelihood. They were all it just had a bunch, you could tell the cohesiveness and the actual emotions between the actors, you know, portraying that through the mocap. I just don't see that connection at all with the Gears and Halo campaigns, because I think that, I mean, it's not that they're like terrible, they just don't grasp me like a true single player game does. And I think it's because they focus a lot of those two developers on creating a lasting multiplayer that plans to be around, and maybe even like with Halo, to like the Halo championships and shit. Mm-hmm. They care a lot about that multiplayer, so they dump a lot of time, and they create decent stories, just not ones that you're going to be like pining for the next story to see what happens next. You're like, most people that are waiting on the next Halo game are waiting to play the online. They're not waiting to find out what happens with Master Chief and Cortana and all that.
I am.
Well, yeah, I'm saying most of them play the multiplayer. That's the reason why there's a lot of achievements in that single player campaign on Halo 5 that are rare, because most people play just the multiplayer.
And yeah, Chris, I highly recommend Titanfall 2. That was probably one of the most surprisingly good games that I've played in a good long time.
Like, I can tell you that these guys here said Titanfall 2 actually made them get kind of like a little emotional over a fucking mech.
Yep.
You don't think that it would, and through the first half, you're like, everyone's saying I'm going to cry with this stupid robot, but it's just a robot. There's no way. When it's like 3/4 of the way over, you're so invested in that goddamn robot. I mean,
I've only made it to that one because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, so I could get the platinum. But I've only made it to that one where you like walk up a broken area, and you walk up a hill, and then there's like a little flat area where there's like little hiding spots, and then she comes up from the opposite side. This other robot girl in a mech you got to fight, and she can electrocute your ass and slap you with a damn whip and shit. And I can't get past her on that hardest difficulty. Like, she's frustrating the fuck out of me. So I quit for a little while to go back to it.
Go-Get, you may not cry, but like your lip will quiver, or it'll hit you in the feelers.
It'll get you. It'll get to you. Yeah.
If I was your age, I probably wouldn't have cried either, but now I can't even watch Homeward Bound without shedding a fucking tear. I don't know what happened to me.
Yeah, once you get older, you like and start having kids of your own, or start getting into relationships and stuff like that, like different emotional stories being told will hit you differently, because you can relate it to your own life somehow, usually. And that's how it gets you. But I mean, as a kid, well, he's basically a kid, but
that's because you're dead inside, Go-Get.
I didn't give a shit.
Open up your heart, man.
Back then, whenever I was his age, there was no cry. I was like, fuck it, it's just a game. Like, no movie could make me cry. But now I'm like, okay, I gotta wipe my tears and make sure I don't look glossy-eyed before I walk out of the theater. And yeah, so yeah,
you are dead inside.
But what's funny though is that, like, with me, if something happens with like somebody I know, I don't cry. I don't shed a tear. I just like compartmentalize it. But it all comes out when I watch a movie or a game that's emotional.
Yeah, and it's like you bottle it up, and then there's like this one odd ass thing just like makes it all just yep.
Yeah, and everybody's looking at you like, that scene made you cry. Like, I don't know why. So fuck. And it's really because like you never shed a tear for your grandma dying and all these other different things that ever happened in your life. But
so Shane, I'm looking at Down Detector. It's down in our area.
Really?
Yeah. Bullhead City area. Big old lovely yellow blotch. Lake Havasu's down. Vegas is down.
Oh, the yellow blotches just means like it's spotty.
Oh, well, Golden Valley to Kingman is down too.
Shit.
Flagstaff is almost redded out.
The red is like orange. You're just done. Yeah.
Holy shit! All of Dallas is down. Oklahoma City, I didn't know you had a Suddenlink out there. Yeah, they're down out there.
I didn't know we had one either.
They're down in Charleston, dude. Like they're fucking down almost everywhere.
Maybe Suddenlink is about to be bought by somebody.
They just got bought by some fucking French company.
Yeah, and they're doing a horrible job with it, by the way.
Yeah, they're doing terrible.
I could have told them that. The fucking French.
I'll tell you who it was in just a minute. Altice. Altice bought them.
I've never even heard of them.
French telecom giant Altice now owns the number 7 U.S. cable company. It just closed its $9.1 billion deal to buy 70% of Suddenlink, which has 1.4 million resident customers in 17 states. Yep.
See, Suddenlink around here would be like a budget internet service provider because of Cox and the big companies out here. They're the ones that are the main providers. Whereas like where you're at, they're like a main provider, and another company that is main out here might be like a sub provider out there in y'all's areas. Whoa. It's weird how that happens. Like how is a company big in one area and like almost non-existent in another?
Well, they I don't know, man. They exploded out here. Like they became a huge thing out here because they're the only ones that were offering the speed. You know, they're the only ones out here that offer the gigabyte speeds. And man, I don't know. It's weird.
Oh yeah, I called my company. They were like, because they have the Gigablast, and so they actually have a gig down and gig up in certain areas of the city. Like they've installed it in certain areas of the city, and then they actually have other thing called well, that's just like their gig offering. Then they have a thing called Gigablast where you get like increased speeds in these certain areas, like close to a gig. But I've asked him, I was like, okay, well, what areas did you install it in? Well, do you have an address? And I'm like, no, like, where did you install it? So that way I know where to look at for an address, you know, because I'm about to be moving. I want to move into a good area to where y'all have it. Well, you're just going to have to call with each address you're looking at, and we'll have to be able to tell you. Then, like, so you don't know where you installed your fucking internet at? No. How the fuck did you lose internet? Y'all are the ones who fucking installed it. Like, how the fuck do you not know where you put it at in the city? Did y'all just like close your eyes and go,
yeah,
okay, we're installing
Chances
it here
are
and driving
it's in the
up.
white neighborhoods, so look there.
Well, that's just like, did everybody get blindfolded besides some random person that drove them into the neighborhood and was like, all right, keep your blindfolds on, dig here, install, and then leave. And, you know, we're not telling you where you're at. Like that, it just blows my mind that these people cannot tell me where their best internet's at in the city.
Well, like my buddy's a tech for these guys out here, and like he's told me that like they've, since Altice bought them, they've fallen a lot, like quite a bit, in fact. Their IT department is no longer, I guess, a thing. They used to have an IT department where, well, like I think everyone has one, right? Like everybody has like a technical support line that you call and be like, hey, something's up with my internet, yada yada yada. Well, I guess they're looking at getting rid of that. They contracted out the techs instead of having internal company, you know, branded techs, which is kind of weird. I don't know, dude. Like, Altice is just fucking, they're dropping the ball pretty bad.
Well, I have an old friend that is a line tech for the company. So maybe I will try to get in touch with him and see if I can get like an inside scoop of where this line is. Like, I've got to figure out where it's at, because when I move, I want to move into that neighborhood where I actually have that hellacious speed.
Yeah, you might want to, like, I know drop lines can sustain it. So you might be lucky there. I mean, any neighborhood with power lines above you, you'd be set.
Well, that's almost the entire city. And
okay.
But
they don't do the servers anymore unless you're in a rural area. If you're in a rural area, they'll let you do server.
They do more with these neighborhoods that are underground, they seem to take care of those neighborhoods more like faster than the ones that are above ground, because they're trying to get everything below ground in Oklahoma because of the tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less. Well, even without tornadoes, it's just a lot less maintenance.
Yeah. But it would be nice if they like. I would love to like. Whenever I worked for them, I would try to I would keep putting in requests over and over again to be in the underground neighborhood, so that way I never had to get my ladder off the truck or nothing like that. It was just simply find a little pedestal on the ground and start working on it there. Like, it was so much easier than.
But you'd probably find more spiders that way, Rambo. I mean,
well, no, because like it's really weird. Like the thing inside the pedestal, if it's kept locked, it's like almost airtight, so nothing can really live in there. So it's only if somebody went by and left it cockeyed on it, then you never know what you're going to come across when you open that thing up.
Did you ever open one and see a spider and run away?
Yeah, several times. Yeah, I've opened up, like, I'm allergic as shit to bees, and I've opened up those apartment ones, and a whole fucking hive is in there.
Oh,
and
shit.
I'm running with my bee spray, just spraying in the air, running like behind me, like spraying, and like I'm running and screaming, and no, like I know that was like part of the worst part of my job, but that, and like when people wanted me to go into their house, I'm just no.
Being allergic to bees and deathly afraid of spiders and a cable guy reminds me of like a dog and a mailman. They just you're fucked.
I managed though. I enjoyed my job. I loved it. The mailman though, that reminds me, the mailman over here, he used to be our mailman. Like, he's not anymore, but like him and I got into it to the point to where he just completely refused to deliver our mail. Like, I had to go open up a P.O. box to get it delivered. Because he threw, like, there's a little bitty tiny, I mean, we're talking like a 2-pound fucking dog. And this motherfucker would like walk around and like completely avoid a house because they had a 2-pound dog. Like, he was scared to death of it. And so one day this dog got out, and while he was walking down the street, the dog ran up to him and just barked, and he never got close to him. I was on the porch the whole time, and like, this guy pulled out a metal baton from his back and hit that fucking dog with it. And I about lost my shit. I was like, you sorry piece of shit. Like, you're scared of a fucking dog that you can flick with your fucking finger? Oh, I was pissed. Like, to the point to where he actually came on my porch, knocked on my door after the fact, and wanted to call me out to the porch. And I was like, let's go. Like, let's get out there. Let's do this shit. And I said, you better be bringing more than that damn little pipe you got in the back of your little, you're in your little waistband. And next thing you know, I went months without getting a single piece of mail, and I finally realized that he just simply quit delivering. And whenever I'd be outside, he would walk to the street, like from my next door neighbor out to the street, walk around my house, and then up to the other my neighbors on the other side. Like, he would avoid me like the plague.
I'm surprised you just didn't throw your mail on the front lawn. Like, here you go.
He was just a pussy. I'm like, how the hell you come, man, and you're scared of a fucking 2-pound dog? Like, that thing can't hurt you at all. I can understand being scared of like a Rottweiler comes after you, but a damn 2-pound dog? He broke his leg because
I'm scared of daddy long legs and shit.
Fuck you.
Well, they can't hurt you either.
They
can't. Like, it's a Black Widow. No, they can't. It's not a Black Widow. It could
be retarded. We've discussed it.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of shit in the air, and I mean, we've seen deformities in humans. Like, it's not a beyond of this sort of Twilight Zone thought that one of these spiders has a big ass mouth.
It's just not line ever.
Fucking Rambo, like, relying on retard strength.
It's like, look at that one, he's special needs, run.
That's a special needs spider, and like, that's the one that's gonna fucking kill me. It would be my luck that I would find the only retarded spider in America.
He's not wrong. It probably would be his luck.
Like, how did this guy die? Oh, he got bit by a daddy. They couldn't bite. It was a fucking retarded one. It happens 1 in a million chance, but damn it, it happened.
All right, guys. So, Rambo, you worked with cable. Verizon as an internet company. What do you think?
Oof.
Mobile, they're decent. I've never heard of them as like them doing. I never heard anything about their home service, but they're in their mobile thing.
I got beef with Verizon.
Their mobile, they're great. I just don't know how well they are with home. I've never heard nobody. We don't have them around here, so I would never know how they are.
Mr. Bang Bang Freckleface uses Verizon Fios, and he's got nothing but good shit to say about it.
Who the fuck is Bang Bang Freckleface?
No, think about it, man. Next gen.
Oh.
Z.
See, I
I guess they call him Z now. So Z.
we finally got Verizon to actually bring a store here in Oklahoma City, like for their phones. Like, so we were forever without even
Rambo, where they didn't want to come to your fucking town.
I have no earthly idea, because like we had every fucking other major provider besides Verizon for the longest time. And then once Verizon got there, I thought, I'm switching, because that's the best thing. And then you go there and their plans are, well, you have to pay $12,000 a month and you could have 10 gigabytes down. I'm like, what? Like, it gets expensive. AT&T is cheap compared to Verizon. I've never heard of Mediacom go get.
Why is Verizon coming out here, Bren?
They have a Verizon out here, and they got the Go Wireless thing advertised. So I'm thinking about it, man.
Do they have
know what that is.
Verizon Fios or whatever?
I thought it was Fios, yeah, maybe.
Because
the wireless thing is just like
Go Wireless is just a hotspot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you're using I actually try to suggest that for my sister because she lives in the country. But if you look at their plans, it's like for unlimited, it's an unlimited plan, but you're paying like $150 a month or whatever, but you're only actually guaranteed like 10 gigabytes on the 4G LTE, and after that they slow your speeds down to 3G.
Yeah, it's cell phone internet for your home devices is what it is.
Now, I didn't know if out there they actually
might be better than what your home internet could be.
Yeah. And in some instances it's better for people.
Maybe not a lot,
but for what you're using it for, like, I don't think if that's what you're getting out there, again, y'all have different things out there. But if you're getting like the mobile thing out there and what you use the internet for, you'd be like, y'all would be almost non-existent by the time the nightfall came, because you would be on 3G service for everybody gaming, and that would be like terrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine everybody watching Netflix and trying to stream games and everything else on 3G.
What about CenturyLink, Brim? Don't they go there?
I don't know.
They just upgraded their speeds.
How do y'all not have like a major like player in the game?
I know.
That's the fucked up part. Is Sunlink is the major player in the game.
But you've got.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
three of these little fuckers.
But like, you have like the way I look at it, Comcast, AT&T, Time Warner, Cox, those people, like, to me, are like the major players, and then Suddenlink is like they're decent, but they're like what you get if you can't get the other major provider.
Well, just 20 minutes up the road, there's Time Warner. It's coming. It's taking its time.
You said there's Time Warner up the road, Shane?
20 minutes up the road in Southern California, there is.
I just figured that y'all were like, Kingman was big enough to.
Kingman, yeah. Well, you know what's funny is Bullhead is actually bigger than Kingman, and yet Kingman gets all the good shit. I don't fucking get it.
That is weird.
Yeah, Bullhead, we get shit on out here, even though we're the biggest landmass out here.
Well, you know that you can actually pay like one of these companies to build a line from Kingman to your house.
Oh yeah, sure. That's gonna cost me how much?
More money than what you probably make, in
it might
in
raise
quite
the
some
resale
time.
Value of your house.
Yeah, you'd be like the only house in fucking Bullhead that actually has decent internet.
Well, that's the thing. It depends on how long you plan on staying there. If you plan on living there for 30, 40 years, it might actually be worth it.
Oh man, mine was like whenever I lived in the country, they were like going to charge me close to $500,000 to get.
Well, yeah, obviously it depends on how much too.
Yeah, and I was like, that I don't give a shit if I stay here till like my kids die, and like that still ain't worth the money to me.
Oh shit! Suddenly,
if it's a couple grand though, that might be worth it.
CenturyLink does go to a gig now, Shane.
Yep, just not where I live.
No contract, perfect for online gaming. That's what they're selling it at? Hell, they got me. Let me see what they got. Shit. If they're better than Suddenlink, I'm down.
My neighbor never complains about his internet, but although here the fastest you can get in my apartment is 40 down and 5 up.
And that's the bad thing about apartments is a lot of times they end up on a master plan. And so you can they kind of control the speeds to each apartment complex unless you get into one where you can actually have your own line. See, like there's some apartments that people only have they're set speeds for their place, and some where you can get up to like what I have at the house, 380 down or 400 down and 60 up.
It's strange because there's like 60 buildings in this complex, and each building has 6 apartments in it. If you go up the road to like 30 buildings up, they get faster speeds than we do down here.
Well, it's because y'all are sharing the longer line. Like y'all at the bottom of the line.
Oh, okay. Well, because
they got the service first, and then they pass off the sloppy seconds to y'all.
Yeah, you can get 80 down and 10 up with CenturyLink, like fucking 1 street up. I mean, yeah.
That's a weird way they wired it then. Because the only thing that can make sense on that is that they have one long wire feeding both apartment complexes, and the main area is at the other one, and it's just feeding down line to y'all. And of course, like just anything, if you use a long line, the signal degrades over the length of the line.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can think of on y'all's, or they're just throttling y'all speeds. But
well, I mean, I have with Suddenlink 100 down and 10 up, and I'm good. So mine doesn't. It's not spotty like Brim's. So I mean,
hey guys, I'm at half my speed right now. Oh my goodness.
That means it's coming back.
I've been with my internet, I've been disconnected from The Last of Us, and that's kind of pissed me off a couple times because I'm just thinking, what if they actually disconnected me during one of those fucking 100% population things? I would die. I would probably drive to the cable company, and y'all hear about me on the news.
Wait, hey man, where's Rambo at? Oh, you guys don't want to know.
He's in prison. His internet went down on week 12, day 7.
I don't know if you want to talk about it. That's kind of personal.
But my internet's been real spotty today. For some reason, it'll kick me offline, back online, kick me offline, back online, and I'll check my speeds, and sometimes it's 120 down and 10 up, and I'm supposed to be getting 400 down and 60 up.
Yeah, see, so my shit has multiplied my lines quite a bit. Instead of getting the base 400, I get I said, pretty at anywhere from 426 to 450. Now, it is that good here.
At your house, do you have it to where basically you could move that modem to any cable outlet in your house?
No.
So there's only one specific outlet that it works at?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was going to say, because that also, a lot of times, people don't think about that. They'll hook up, they'll have all their outlets hooked up to where they can move the modem around wherever they want. But that splitter in the outside is, really killing them because the splitter automatically lowers the signal sometimes by 14 decibels. And so you're already starting at a really low rate by hooking up to that line.
Well, he just had his buddy put in a higher a splitter with more amperage or power or something. So
yeah.
But you shouldn't even, if you just have one line coming in for the modem, you shouldn't need a splitter at all. You should just have a line coming from your like a drop line to your house, and then a line from like basically connecting straight to that line, running straight to your cable outlet or your outlet.
That's right, Brandon. You don't have cable TV anymore. You shouldn't need a splitter at all.
Yeah, the splitter could be bad. I mean, you don't know how many times I went to people's houses, swapped out a splitter, and everything was back up and running at 100%.
So he was telling me that it runs on a decibel system, right? So like
it does. The decibels of noise, yeah.
Yeah, so if it goes too high, it can get too hot, right?
Right.
If it goes too high, you'll get feedback, and the same thing if it goes too low, you'll get feedback, and then it'll cause interruption with the internet megahertz.
Yeah, he said mine was at like a 10 or some shit, and he broke it down. He said he had to lower it down to like the splitter was to lower it down to like half that. So that way when my internet was on and it started to peak, it wouldn't go past the 10 or some shit like that. I don't know.
Well, see, I mean, the only thing that he could lower it down to, if he put a 2-way splitter on there, then he lowered it down by 3 decibels. If he put a 3-way splitter, you could do it 3 decibels or 4 decibels or 7 decibels.
Yeah, that's what he did was a 3-way splitter, because he said my shit was like really high.
But see, a 10, I don't know. Like
Isn't there a filter for that though, Rambo?
There is, yeah. I mean, but he shouldn't need a filter on his because he doesn't have anything besides.
Line.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything but cable. So it sounds like there's a mainline problem because the signal's turned up too high at the main line, causing it to come down the line at a high rate. Because you should be around a 7 or 8 at your demarc location on your house.
Yeah, and it was like that before he left. Like it was fine before he left. So.
But where did he get the splitter at?
From his truck.
Yeah, from Suddenlink.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, from Suddenlink. Yeah.
Okay, I was saying because if you
he's an actual tech. He's not just
because a lot of people. Well, no, a lot of people will like they know what they're doing, but they'll go out and buy like a splitter at Walmart, and those splitters suck. Like you can't like those go faulty quicker than shit. But I mean, he very well could be that splitter that he put in is just bad, or that they fixed the mainline problem, and now your signal's too low.
Oh, so you wouldn't need a splitter anymore?
Yeah, because like if you would never know if they went out there and fixed the mainline problem, the decibel problem, but you would be able to tell because your service would go in and out because your signal then would turn around and be way too low because it's going through a splitter. But it's also not good because like the main line that's going into the splitter and then you have the one line coming out, the 2 other ports on that 3-way splitter are causing more noise feedback because they're open end, like it's just like allowing any white noise in the air to go straight into the cable line.
Can't you cap those off though?
You can, yeah. You have to have a special cap to cap them to where.
Yeah, you gotta get the right ohm cap.
Yeah, it blocks the ohms from like nothing. Where they're just like basically non-existent.
Your splitter doesn't have any caps on it, Bram. I saw the one PJ put in.
I mean, that could be a problem. I mean, there's so many things that could be a problem, but I mean, with the amount of times that your internet has gone down, there's a very good chance that they might have fixed the mainline problem. And now the signal is right, and you're just having too low of a problem along with the extra noise from the two ports on the splitter that are allowing more unnecessary feedback into the line.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It definitely sounds like a little problem that's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something. It's either the mainline problem, like there's too much, like the signal is way too high out there or way too low, one of the two, or it could be your splitter. One of the two, like, and the extra little ports. Like, so you could go out there and simply like replace a splitter and be perfect, or you have to call in a line tech and have them come out there and like figure out where the noise. Because what sucks is like, especially in these drop areas, a lot of technicians get really lazy, so they don't get their ladders out to go up to the pole every time. And so you'll have one neighbor down the street, and if you happen to live downwind, like basically down signal from that neighbor that went down there and decided, okay, well, I'm going to steal cable and stick my, a cable line up in there. that interference will cause problems for the entire line from that point all the way down the line. And usually technicians, when they come out, they'll take their ladder up to the pole, check the tap, and you'll be able to see, make sure all the people that are hooked up there are supposed to be hooked up, and unhook and cap the ones that were stealing it. And so that way it keeps the line in perfect harmony. But you could have that one that just decided, well, I don't want to check the tap while I'm here, so he leaves, and there could be one erroneous, like one thing that like your splitter that doesn't have a cap on it, or somebody like just plugged a like basically peeled off the wire, the cable, the sheathing from the cable wire, and just shoved the copper into the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And that causes major problems on down the line. Like our techs here, our line techs now just drive around the city because like looking for that, because it'll basically, they have a signal meter in their truck, and it can read the signal coming, like not the signal coming off the out of the line, but it'll read like any sort of like interference that could happen. And if it hits a certain peak, then they know there's a problem in that area. So that way they go and start checking taps throughout that whole entire area until they figure out where the problem is. Because of a lot of people stealing cable.
Well, you got some people on your street that may have stole cable before, Brent.
Yeah, but why would yours go out then if it could be this? You know what I mean? Like, it could be a combination of things, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really sucks.
If you can get your friend to come out there and check the signal again and have them check it at your demarc location, like out there, like the little box on the side of the house, or the back of the house.
Yeah.
Have them pull the drop line off of that splitter and check the signal there. If the signal is good there, then have them remove the splitter and just hook straight into your line with a barrel. And it goes like basically where it's just basically one constant line from the drop all the way to your wall outlet, and you should be perfectly fine. I've seen some weird shit like to where, because those little cable, like the little tip things where you screw them onto the little barrel on your wall, where people that just walk through their house all day long, and then that little thing, what causes the problem is simply going out there and taking a little 7/16 wrench and just simply tightening that cable wire up to the wall outlet, fixed all their problems, because it just simply, the vibrations of you walking simply just start loosening that connection. And all your cable connections should be 7/16, so you can go and check all your connections simply, and with the 7/16 wrench, and just simply tighten them up.
The way it was explained to me, like by a tech that took the time to talk to me, was that you have to look at coaxial cable like a water hose. Like that's how it flows through it, like the data or the decimals or whatever. And if there's a kink or a twist or anything, or like Rambo said, if the fitting isn't tight all the way, imagine like if that was a water hose, water would be escaping from that end if it's not tight all the way.
Yep. Like whenever we saw the diagram of like the way the cable, the signal travels through that cable, that coaxial cable, you would think that it just travels like straight down that copper line, but it goes from like kind of like a wave, up and down, up and down, up and down. And if you just have like one little interference, just imagine like you said, like imagine water flowing down that thing, and then all of a sudden you have a kink or just a tiny, all it takes is just a tiny bit loose, and all of a sudden you have just that small little leak right there. And that's basically, the leak is basically allowing noise in and noise out before it gets to your location, and that's what causes your problem. But the only way to actually determine it, like where your problem is by that fucking fancy little meter your friend has. Or just simply guessing it on your own and replacing everything on your own until you can figure out that you've done everything on your end and it still doesn't work.
Right.
But if you have a friend that's a technician, I'd definitely see if he'd come out there and check that demarc location one more time, because that line might have been fixed and you don't even need the splitter anymore, and that's what's causing your problem all this time.
Yeah.
How long ago did he put the splitter in?
Shane, you were here when that happened.
Yeah, it was maybe a month and a half.
A month and a half, almost 2 months now.
So, yeah. I would imagine that somebody in your neighborhood has called in a cable problem or an internet problem, and some technician has gone out there and figured out that the main line is boosting the signal too much. Mm-hmm. I would assume that somebody within Suddenlink has fixed that mainline problem.
It would have had to have been recently because my shit was working right after I replaced my shit.
Well, that's the thing with cable. Here's the weird thing. Like, you can go out to a location, even if, like, say you have say your main wire in your wall. Like, so do you have a wall fed, or do you have it from the outside of your house in?
No, it's through the wall out to the side of my house.
Okay, so we're just gonna say that line is bad. But I go out to your house and I can maybe even test that line and see that it's bad, but I don't really want to feel like replacing that whole line. Mm-hmm. I can replace just your jumper. That's just basically from your wall to your
which is an amplifier,
thing.
Right?
It's not really an amplifier, but what it does is it creates like a Band-Aid. Like your system will start working again, and like appear that everything is okay, but then all of a sudden that one problem, that small problem in that main wire that's out on your wall, will start to degrade some more. Like that signal will start to degrade it. Like it creates like a false
positive or false reading?
False positive, basically, where the line thinks and the signal thinks it's okay, and then all of a sudden it starts figuring out, wait, there's a way that I can leak out over here, or the kink is like causing it. And like there's been so many times where I couldn't figure out what the fucking problem was, that I was simply, when I first started, I would replace a jumper, their internet would come back on and be like, all right, see you later. But then the longer I worked there, I started actually figuring out more and more shit. But I mean, you'd be surprised on how quick simply just like putting a splitter in, or putting a new little jumper cable on there, everything would be perfectly fine for a couple of days, and all of a sudden you start having problems again.
If a house would be difficult to drill through to run a line straight into your house, like let's say that line going to his wall is bad, he's in a brick house. Would a tech go, okay, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, or would he go, no, that shit's too much?
Man, I've seen some techs that, like, if you're like in a wood house, like a siding house or whatever, they'll do it in a heartbeat. But the brick, because you have to have a special drill for the brick. And so they might not have the drill on them, or they might just not want to like deal with like having to get through that brick. So they'll just be like, oh, okay, whatever. More and more times that I've had to spend more and more times at brick houses replacing lines on the outside, because like a tech before me left a fucking line like with a dog chew in it because he didn't want to replace it.
So like, because Brim, your house is from what, the 70s?
60s, early 60s. Yeah.
You could just have lazy techs. I mean, that's especially like, I don't know if Suddenlink does it like they do here, but we contract out a lot of our work. So you might not have like a Suddenlink truck pull up at your house, but a truck that says Suddenlink representative or Suddenlink contractor. And the contractors are really bad because they get paid by the job. So they'll do whatever, they'll do the bare minimum and sign off that they did the entire thing. So that way they get paid for the full job, but they didn't do the whole thing. So they're really bad if you get a contractor. But if you get a Suddenlink representative, they get paid by the hour generally. So they would be more of taking their time. The one thing you can do is you can check, like the way we always did it and we're told is that we go to like your modem. We'll unhook your modem and hook it straight to our meter, have the reading, then go from there to your wall, do the reading. And then we'll go take it away from there and go out to your demarc location and take the reading there. And we'll see where how much drop you're having. Like, cause you might have like a 10 at your demarc location, but whenever you get to your wall outlet, it might be like a 2. Because that wire that's going from your wall outlet to the back out to the box in the back is bad. Yeah. And so you might like if they only check your DMARC location, everything looks like it's fine or it's too high, and so we're going to install a splitter. But in reality, if that wire is going from the DMARC location to your wall is bad, then they're not going to read that at the DMARC location because there's nothing going through that wire at your wall anymore because they've disconnected it at the main junction. But that wall outlet might be bad, and whenever they hook up to that, you'd be able to tell because like if you have a 10 at your and you have no splitter, if you have a 10 at your DMARC location, you should have, I think it drops 1 decibel for every 10 feet. So I think you're looking at, you should be around maybe at most a 7 or 8 at your wall. And then from your wall to your jumper, depending on how long your jumper is, you might be at a 6, depending on if you have a long jumper or not. But if you go, like say from your internet, you like read a 6 or read a 4, and then you go to the wall and you read a 5, but you go out to your box and you read a 10, then that means that line going from your wall to your box is bad. Because it's dropping too much in that one little area. Because it shouldn't be going from a 10 to a 5 unless you have a splitter on it or if you have a very, like a cable that wraps from like all the way around your house and you have a big house. But, I mean, that I don't know. That's what I would have. I mean, if he doesn't mind coming out there, I don't know how well you know him. I would have him check.
We grew up with we
okay, well then he probably wouldn't mind, but have him check, like leave everything hooked up, have him check at your modem, find out what your signal level is there, then unhook your cable from your wall, and like on your side where you can see it, and then he'll hook up his meter to that wall out, check the signal there, and then do the same thing at the location on the outside of the house, and then figure out if there's any weird drop in there.
Yeah, because like the brick house thing just kind of dawned on me because like
because there's a lot of people that won't fuck with the brick house simply because they don't want to take the time. Work. Yeah, I mean, when in all honesty, I mean, if that hole was drilled out properly, or done right whenever they installed it, you can simply just like hook another out, another fitting up, or basically another wire straight up to the, like say your wall outlet. Take the plate off, but then hook it like cable to cable with a barrel in between, and simply just pull it through the hole, and then you have the new wire, and then you just leave the spool inside the person's house, and then just walk it straight all the way back to the DMARC location, then staple it up, and you're good to go.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but people. So, I mean, there's just some technicians that are just, like I said, lazy as shit, and they'll do the bare minimum, and that they won't be able to. You won't be able to get that outlet out like that, so they'll have to cut the wire on the outside of the house, and then pull the wire through. And if they don't have that drill bit that will do that hole, then they just won't do it. They'll come up with some other reason as to the problem or whatever, even though that's the problem. Because they'll get in trouble if they come out to your house and they say that they need that thing, but they don't have their drill bit, and you end up you complaining because obviously your problem's not fixed, and you call back to the company and say, look, the technician came out here, but he didn't have a drill bit, so he didn't fix it. He'll get written up because you're supposed to have all your tools with you at all times.
Could also just drill the hole yourself.
Yeah,
because those masonry bits, they're not expensive, and it's not that hard.
No, I mean, you just got to make sure you go through the concrete and the concrete grout, whatever, rather than through the brick.
Yeah.
Because going through the brick sucks. I've seen so many people do that, and I don't know why.
I mean, at least as much as possible.
Yeah. I've seen seriously gone up to people's houses where they've gone like straight through the middle of the brick, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, it'll break. Bricks aren't meant for. They're not solid.
Well then,
it's definitely not your modem and router. You just replace that shit.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you spent that much money on it, like, it shouldn't be that fucking thing.
I mean, shit, that's the second time in a year you've replaced it.
My bet would be that either somebody fixed the signal or one of your wires on, like, one of the wires involved in your hookup has a problem in it.
Well, it looks like I'm back up now. I'm at like almost 100. Cause I have it dropped into the 100 splitter that Shane gave me.
Oh, so, the switch, yeah.
The switch, yeah.
Yeah, my parents' house, whenever, like, I'll tell you how lazy they are. And with these aerial drops, they came out here. My parents wanted their thing disconnected. They came out to my parents' house, cut the wire at the house, and then just wrapped it around the fence at the back of the yard. It's been there for 10 years.
That's it's just some lazy shit.
Yeah. They didn't want to go up to the pole to get unhook it from there, so they just said, fuck it, and we'll just leave it here.
Well, shit, kids should use that as like a Tarzan rope.
Oh, this should be interesting. Why is there burnt critters in the backyard? Oh, no, those were children.
Like, Cox left the swing for him, so they, I wonder if Cox, I imagine if that happened, Cox could get sued if somebody got hurt.
Probably.
I mean, it's only a live wire, but not a big deal whatsoever. There's only juice going through that thing.
Couldn't you just, like, put an end on the thing they cut and steal cable that way?
No.
Not if it's not connected.
Well, it's still connected to the pole, right?
No, they cut the wire.
Oh.
Above, out there at the back and at the house, and then they wrapped it. I'm talking on the podcast.
Hi, Rambo's wife.
So they're lazy as hell. I don't know how you are with electricity, but if your line is too close to the electrical thing, it can cause, like, the electrical thing can cause interference with it too.
Yeah.
What about an air conditioner?
No, that can't.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you wouldn't want to plug in, like if you have a window unit that's plugged in, like with that 220, you wouldn't want to drill your outlet right next to that 220 outlet, because the interference, like, right there would be good. But just in general, not like that wouldn't do it, as long as it's not right there next to the outlet.
You getting tired, Bram?
Of course.
It's really weird how internet signal travels.
Yeah.
I can't wait to.
Well, that with coax.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it. And the only thing I can figure out is I'm actually having trouble with my Cat 6 here at my house, because my internet, if I check my speeds, like, I'm getting, I'm hooked hardwired with my Cat 6 to my PC. I'm hooked to my other consoles, but sometimes the one that's hooked to my PS4, it'll say LAN not connected, LAN connected, LAN not connected, LAN connected. And my internet's hooked up, and I can check speeds on my PC, everything's fine, but my PS4 will kick me offline. The only thing I can think of is my Cat 6 went bad, because nothing else would work if it was my actual internet signal. But so I've got to change that out, because that's driving me absolutely insane, having that thing pop up every 10 seconds.
I'm looking at going into Cat 7. Just be done with it. Just get it.
Do they have it in the stores?
No, you got to order it online. Out here, they only have it out.
I don't know why you would need it.
Cat 7 though. Yeah, Cat 6 is already shielded.
Yeah, I don't like. What is Cat 7? What is Cat 7 going to do that Cat 6 can't do?
From what I understand, Cat 7 gives you a more stable giga connection.
Well, that's what Cat 6 was built for, is the gigabit.
Even Cat 5 is capable of gigabit.
Yeah, but Cat 6 was built because of the rise in the gigabit. But Cat 7 seems like it'd just be overkill, because by the time the speeds would match up to like what Cat 7 could do, or the top of the line of Cat 7, internet wouldn't even be a thing. We'll be able to do internet from the air.
And it's gold plated.
Oh dear God! You don't get into the gold plated is better, right?
Yes, it is. It's pretty.
It's
so y'all buy
pretty,
gold plated HDMI cable?
I mean, gold plating doesn't ever hurt.
Well, no, but I mean, it definitely doesn't. It's not like it. Like Monster tries to say, well, you're spending $80 for this HDMI cable because it's gold plated, and I'm like, it doesn't do that much, you know. Like it's not really, bro. It's an $80 fucking HDMI cable.
I don't even fuck with HDMIs unless they got gold or they're braided.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not serious.
Oh, I was like, damn, man, like that.
Man, I got a 99-cent store HDMI cable hooked up to my splitter right now. You don't even know.
Like you're spending a shit ton of money on fucking cables. Then, like, now I finally found braided ones that were reasonably cheap, and now I've got I bought like a ton of them, like 10-foot ones, 6-foot ones, 3-foot ones, 1.5-foot ones. Like I have them in all sizes and shapes, and they happen to actually be gold plated. Now that I think of it, but I didn't buy them because they were gold plated.
See?
But they were only $7.99 for 2 of them. So I mean, it's not
like
that's
that. All I'm gonna go for. Yeah, I'm going for like $7.99 to $8. That's how much they are on Amazon right now. They're cheap.
I just don't know, like Cat 7. I just like you're. Like seriously, that like the speeds, the bandwidth that Cat 6 can handle is plenty, and I like Cat 7. Like you're just gonna have so much like free space just floating around. Like we're not being used because your speed can't ever touch us.
That would be a good thing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
future proofing.
You're definitely future proofing because the way America upgrades their internet, like you'll never get Cat 7.
You'll be good for like 2 decades.
Yeah, you'll die with Cat 7.
Ooh, I found some braided ones. Hey, what do you know?
Ethernet cables, I'm all over that shit.
Cat 7 Ethernet cable. They are Dan Yee nylon braided 10-foot Cat 7 cables.
Braided Ethernet cables.
Hell yes.
Didn't you just say you got some?
No, braided HDMI cables. Like I've never. Usually the Cat 6 is flat.
Usually.
And they said that was actually better for the signal than I've never even heard of braided Ethernet cables.
They have it. It's either that or I get the flat, which flat's good, so whatever. It don't matter to me.
Well, no, that's so like that. I've just never heard of braided Ethernet. I never knew they could do that.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I don't see why not.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm just kind of looking at it like, you know, I'd rather not need it than to need it. You know what I mean? Because
yeah, like I said, I mean,
you need when you need something and you need to have it right then and there. It's like a pain in the ass because you have to wait and.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like you will never, like the internet in America has got to go a long way before you even need to think about Cat 7. But I mean, you'll definitely have it. Like I said, you'll probably die with still using Cat 7 because I don't think that America's internet's ever going to get to the point of pushing past Cat 7.
Yeah.
It would surprise me.
Yep.
Well, get ready to be surprised.
Well, that's like that HDMI, what is it, 2.1?
That shit's weird.
There's really not going to be much you're going to need after that. Like
that shit's weird though, isn't it? Like that is a strange ass shit that I've ever seen. I was looking at that shit and I was like, it's like a hybrid of a USB and a display port all in one. Like what the fuck?
It's a weird. I mean, it's a weird thing, but like it's got the signal it carries. Like I just can't imagine a reason why you would need an HDMI 2.2. You know what I mean? I don't know why you would to be
for actual reality, not virtual reality.
Yeah. Like it's like because I think 2.1 can do 8K.
Jesus.
At 60 hertz, I think. So it would be if we ever get past 8K and 60 hertz, and that's going to be weird because 8K is going to be almost like clearer than life.
4K is already clearer than life. What are you talking about? 4K, you look at that shit and you're like, Jesus, that's defined.
Have you seen the 8K displays?
I don't even want to think about 8K, bro.
Oh, the shit looks like crisp.
Like, how much more crisp is crisp, my dude? Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, no, it looks almost like people are on TV. Like, actual people are just in the box, and you're trying to you want to get them out.
When real life starts looking like standard definition.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. People are going to have fucking stupid-ass shit like 8K sunglasses. And people are going to be like, why the fuck are people buying these things? Because anything else after that, 1080p, is, like, stupid.
Yeah, I can... Like, somebody, like, tried to say that the PS5 was going to come out with 8K support, and I'm like, you're dumb. Like, you're just dumb. Like, we haven't even got 4K down. Like, 8K is a long way away from actually ever becoming sort of mainstream.
Yeah. 8K, though, that just seems like it would be...
Well, not that long ago, Brim was saying 4K porn was all the rage, so...
Well, yeah, and it still needs to be the rage, man.
They actually streamed the Olympics, not this past Olympics, but the one before it, in 8K.
Oh, so yeah, they were like the first ones to do it, right?
Yeah,
like,
so I mean...
yeah.
But for all those people who have 8K displays,
yeah,
right?
For the 12 people in the world, you know, yeah, like or all your Best Buys where you can go look at it and go, oh, I need that, but I'm not spending $30,000.
Right.
Like 8K is just not affordable at all right now, and there's really no point in it. Like, there's really not a point in 8K because, like, you don't even get, like, the 4K discs that you get aren't even actually 4K. They're 1440p upscale.
I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, if you're going to spend $30,000 on a TV, you damn sure better be getting content that's actually in 8K.
Well, you might be able to buy, like, actual movie prints or whatever meant for the theaters that are that big.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would probably cost you
stuff. Yeah,
that'd probably cost you some money too.
It'd be a grip.
But I mean, if you're spending $30,000 on a TV, chances are you have the money for that.
Yeah,
that copy of the movie.
You know, Rambo's gonna get a PS5 at launch, Chris.
Oh yeah, that's not even
He will sell his car if he has to get one of them. Don't think he won't.
It's not even a question. That's a guarantee. As soon as they announce it, I'm pre-ordering.
All we have is the kids' college money. So what? They're dumb anyway.
They're not going. Don't worry about it. Just tell them to take a year off. It's okay. Find themselves. Well, Chris, I'm really thinking that the PS5 will actually be completely backwards compatible. And so my thought is, like, if you buy it, if you have a digital library, you'll be able to simply just...
Rambo won't buy it for old games.
I won't buy it for old games. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm buying it for. But like at launch, like backwards compatible only makes sense like at launch time usually. If you're going to play backwards compatible titles because of the fact that launch
for Sony, it makes sense.
Well, no, and it's good. Like even at like the beginning of the gen, whenever they Microsoft announced backwards compatible, it's like that. I even said that would have made sense if that would have been like at the start because libraries are weak at that point. Like your new console doesn't have very many games. So you'd only be able to pick up maybe 2 or 3 out of the 5 that were launched with it to play, and you could play through those pretty quickly. And so you're left with your old console. But if it was backwards compatible at launch, then at least you could play your games that you still have or whatever, and just continue on. But like once you're 3 or 4 years into the life cycle, you should have quite a wealth of a library where you don't even need to worry about your old games.
I think they just did the backwards compatible thing to push the rest of the 360 people on it.
I think they did too. Yeah, I think that was just a way to like, please guys, just come over. Quit playing your fucking 360s.
I understand that the 360 market's still quite alive.
It's not being sold. I don't think it's being sold anymore, but I don't think it's being sold, but like not like
no, you can only buy it online now. Yeah, you can only buy it online. You can get
but there's still a community for it.
Oh, the community is still freaking huge. Like,
there's still one for the PS3. Like it's
yeah,
it's insane.
There's still people playing the Starhawk on that shit. I'm like, damn. That's kind of amazing because that was like one of my favorite PS3 games.
I don't think I ever played that one.
Oh, and the guy that said it was 8K said the PS5 is going to have 32 gigabytes of GDDR5X.
Yep, sure thing.
And I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense because why? I was like, you don't need
graphics cards are just now starting to come out with 16 gigs.
Oh yeah,
and even the 8 gig ones, you don't even use all that. So
yeah, but we're talking like this guy was like dead set that it was like games. You know, so they say it takes 16 gigabytes of RAM. I'm like, no. It's like I've like every 16 gigabyte recommended game I've had on max settings at 4K, and I've never even got up to 8. I was like, it doesn't take 16 gigs of RAM just because it says that. And I was like, plus you're talking about video RAM, not RAM. And then he had it to where it was going to be like a one that was diskless, an option that was diskless and have a 10 terabyte hard drive, and then one that had a disk and a 1 terabyte SSD hard drive. And I'm like, you're stupid. Like you're just plain fucking stupid. He knows nothing about technology. He just knows these numbers are big, and I'm putting it in there. There was some ungodly thing. It was like 20 teraflops.
What's a teraflop? I don't know, but it's got 20 of them.
Yeah, I'm like going. It's like going. Do you even understand like what you're building? Pointless fucking. At this point, you're building a pointless fucking machine because I don't know anything that would actually put like any game that would push the fucking that type of system to its max. You'd have so much overload or overhead in there that it'd just be like a bunch of waste of money for PlayStation to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, since I'm an achievement hunter, that's the reason why I don't go back and play the 360 games for the achievements. Because, well, I know, but there are like 400 points for an entire game. And, like, if I'm going to spend 8 to 10 hours on a game, I want 1,000 gamer score. I don't want 400. Like, going back and playing that Telltale Walking Dead, I'm not sitting through that fucking game for 400 gamer score. Like, that, no. I can barely do it for 1,000 and a platinum because I've done it so many times, but I sure as fuck ain't doing it for 400.
It's seriously only 400 to the 360 version?
Yeah. At least whenever let me see, the trueachievements.com. And then, oh, there we go. Walking Dead. Okay. I did it not. That's weird. Oh, games list. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, it was some. I think it was 400. I was like, yeah, there's not happening because that's a boring ass game now to play for only 400 gamer score.
Yeah, that's one of the Telltale games I can't get through. Shit, I can't get through the Back to the Future one, and I love the movie. I mean,
yeah, The Walking Dead on
casual pleb, sir.
Okay, Xbox 360 at 600 gamer score.
That's not bad.
To get through that game for this like 7th time, yeah, it is. I need to at least at this point I'd like to have like 12 platinums and 12,000 gamer score to get through it again. And my dumbass bought the Walking Dead collection thinking, okay, well, they're all going to be remastered with a whole nother set of platinums and, you know, whatever. No, it's the whole fucking Walking Dead series with one fucking platinum. Because Walking Dead 1, 2, A New Frontier, and The Michonne for one platinum. 4 fucking games for one platinum. Needless to say, I have not played that game yet.
Well, man, you should. That's an easy platinum.
Yeah, like 3 days later.
3 days isn't bad for a platinum.
But it is for like having to sit through those stories for 3 days. I've played all those games so many times now that I cannot do it just for a single platinum again. I'll eventually do it, but I'm gonna dread every minute of it. When I'm playing the first one, I'm just like, please let me just get to where I shoot the guy. Please hurry.
Yeah, I started playing Frozen Freefall Snowball Fight or whatever yesterday.
How is that?
It's like Candy Crush, so it's not bad.
Oh, it is?
And it's pretty easy to get the achievements in that game.
Is there going to be a collector's edition for you and Rabbit to get?
It's
a custom-made Xbox would be nice.
It's free like to play, so you got nothing to lose, Grim.
Hey, I'm just saying, I want a collector's edition, all right? Jeez. Who knows? Maybe I'll become obsessed with it. Maybe it could be like the guy version of Candy Crush. Dude, you get addicted to stupid shit like that.
No, it's Frozen.
Have a custom,
so
Elsa on your console.
Shit, yeah.
I'd be all over it.
Let's do this.
I still want the custom Candy Crush console though.
And that was, you know what's funny? You know, okay, like, you gotta admit, like, at this point, if there's one thing Microsoft does right, usually, is their custom consoles. Like,
when they do them
and they sell out of them. That's the funny thing. They sell out of them. They're hard as fuck to get a hold of once you do want it, when you finally decide you want one. I mean, a Candy Crush console is just not that far out of realistically, you know what I mean? Like,
and it would sell
probably sell like fucking hotcakes.
A lot of Candy Crush. There's a lot of Candy Crush players. That Minecraft one. That Minecraft one, though, I think they've worked Minecraft to death because that Minecraft one did not sell. Like my Walmart, like every Walmart around Oklahoma,
I think they just oversaturated the market with them, dude.
Yeah, that might be because like every Walmart is like the whole cabinet is stuffed with those Minecraft consoles. I'm like, damn.
Agreed.
Like usually those like you never are really hard to find because they're custom. Well, they're a lot cheaper now than what they were at launch. They're like $339.
That's funny. The Xbox One S Minecraft edition is $189.
Yeah, but this one's like this one has it looks like a block of grass and a block of dirt and has redstone in the back of on the bottom of the console. I was gonna buy it, but it was like $459 or $449 at launch, and now it's like $339 at Walmart, and not on sale either.
That reminds me. All right, guys, for Brimstone's gaming channel, design me an Xbox controller, and if I like it, I'll buy it.
There you go.
On Design Labs.
Yep. Look at my color scheme on Brimstone's gaming channel. And if you guys can come up with a controller that comes up close to that, I will buy it. And I'll shout you out on Twitter and I'll do an unboxing for you, actually.
That's an expensive controller.
Probably will be. I've always wanted a custom controller though. So.
I think they're like $79.99 or something like that.
Yep. It's kind of like my celebratory thing for me getting my job.
Well, I can't really say much because I just bought a PS4 controller for $84.99.
What's special about it, Rambo?
It was a limited edition and it was orange and purple.
Oh, I know what you got. Okay, yeah.
I've been looking for that thing forever, and it only released like in certain regions. And finally, Amazon had it under Prime, and I was like, "Shit, yeah, I'm buying it."
Isn't it a team?
I don't know. It's called Sunset Orange. I don't know if it's related to anything or whatever. I just know that it looked really cool. And Chris, I can't do skins. Like, my OCD is just not, because inevitable. I'll get everything right besides that last little bit, and it'll be like cockeyed just a centimeter, and I'll rip the whole damn thing off. Or there'll be a bubble somewhere. I just can't.
Just take a little sewing needle, pop the bubble, and squish it down.
Oh yeah,
I can't because then I'll know there's a hole there.
That's funny. After you guys design it, tweet it to me on Twitter so that way I could see.
What game can you hear? My dashboard is going.
Well, Pete's streaming it, isn't he?
No.
Oh, I thought Pete was streaming because I think Shane. I think you said your internet was down.
No, you said it was pinwheeling or something. Someone said it was pinwheeling.
I said it was, but then like mine right now, when I hit live, it's still pinwheeling. Like it never has stopped.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah. It pretty much is, I guess. I looked at a SCUF controller for my PS4 though.
A what?
a custom SCUF controller. I think it comes up to like $240 or something.
Fuck that.
It has the paddles though.
Yeah, you can get a Hori controller that's been collaboratively made by Sony for the same shit.
That Hori controller is just ugly as hell though. It looks like just a box. Like it's just ugly.
You know, it's like get the one by Razer that has the Xbox analog layout. That's the best one you can buy.
No, I can't. Like, I have to have a symmetrical thumbsticks. It took me a while to get used to adjusted to when I started playing the Xbox this generation to actually figure out how to play with my thumbs offset. I'm like, who does this?
Why the hell did they do that?
I don't know. It's just weird.
It's the best of both worlds, Rambo. You get Razer, which is, in your opinion, like top dog, and then plus the Xbox offset thumbsticks. I mean, where can you go wrong? You're 2 for 2 there.
The Xbox offset thumbsticks.
Then you're obviously not a fan of shooters.
No, because I don't play online.
Then you need this controller.
Why? The offset thumbsticks suck for shooters.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah-huh.
Don't argue with me.
Dual analog is way better.
I just want to say that the dual analog DS4 is the most popular controller on the PC platform right now.
Oh, is it?
It overtook the 360 controller.
What about the Xbox One controller?
Nobody uses the Xbox One controller on the PC. It was always a 360.
Uh-huh.
I know lots of people that use an Xbox One controller.
I know, so do I.
Obviously, I didn't mean literally no one. But I mean, like, no one in, like, large numbers to where it would be a popular item. But the most requested item for the PC platform controller-wise is the DS4 controller. Because I think they even like playing games with dual analogs.
The Xbox has dual analogs. Dual means 2. There's 2.
Like symmetrical dual analogs. Not retarded offset analogs.
There's just no winning with this guy.
And so it puts your whole world in disarray. When you've played with symmetrical analogs this whole time, and then you grab an Xbox controller and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why are my thumbs up and like top and bottom?
I could play on both just fine.
I've got to the point now to where I can, but when I first did first Xbox controller in my hand, I was like, what the hell? This is not even comfortable. Who puts their thumbs right here?
Only gods can handle
it. The gods that Kratos killed?
See? Everyone in the chat.
Yeah, oh God. Like, I proved you wrong. There was that guy in the chat. Yeah,
where's Halo been? It's been kind of quiet with him not being around.
Yeah, he apparently since he quit console warring, he quit like listening to podcasts altogether.
Oh, good for him. That's good.
Don't let Rambo fool you. He's got him tied up in the basement.
Yeah.
And ball gagged.
I let him have like 2 hours a day to tweet.
And then he makes him play PlayStation.
Yeah. He can only play PlayStation.
You're gonna like it!
Life of the Black.
You're gonna like it!
He can only play Life of the Black Tiger.
Oh, God.
That's the game of the year. Like, I don't know why. Like, that game was...
That was a really bad game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was that mobile... It was that mobile port that...
Oh, well, look.
Oh, there he is.
Look at that.
See, I let him out.
Like, I have a feeling he was already listening. If when we bring him up, he's all of a sudden, oh, hello, I'm here.
Hey, guys!
I guess I gotta talk. They're talking about me now.
Rambo didn't, like, do anything bad to you. Like, if we were to show you a doll and ask you where he touched you, where would you point to?
Don't worry, the police are not scanning this podcast right now.
We hope.
We hope. Law enforcement will not be in OKC at all this year.
Well, I think it was either Brim or Sainer that actually summoned you.
Well, since he's a fellow Xbox brethren, of course we summoned him.
You gotta get back up to the one PlayStation guy. It takes 3 of y'all for 1 of me. Like, come on. Well, I guess it is about a 3-to-1 ratio with Xbox and PlayStation, isn't it?
I thought it was just you liked being in a gangbang, so we're just trying to do what's right.
Speaking of gangbang, I did the McGangbang thing to my wife the other day in Safeway. Oh, so funny.
Oh, did you? Did you really?
Yeah, and then she goes
gangbang.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Stream's pinwheeling.
Oh, so of course it's gonna die like right here at this story.
No, it's live. Apparently, there's a sandwich at McDonald's called the McGangbang. It's a little bit of everything thrown on a sandwich. So we embarrassed the shit out of Metro, me and Brim did, in Safeway by walking around asking him out loud, louder than normal, if he wanted a McGangbang. And his face turns red, and he just doesn't like it. So I'm in Safeway the other day with my wife, and I'm really bored, so I start doing the exact same thing we did to Metro, and she's got like the same priceless reaction as Metro does. And she punches me in the arm, and she goes, "That's it, I'm walking away." So then I start yelling, "Where's my wife? I lost her!" like that, and she went to the car. I had to finish the shopping.
Oh, that would suck if my wife did that to me, because I don't even know what to get grocery shopping.
We're having Hot Pockets all week, woman.
Yeah, it's like, I got chips.
I got chips, sour cream, in your asshole, girl. We got this.
Like, cause I have no earthly idea how to grocery shop, because I don't even know what goes together.
Really, Rambo? You're like that kitchen retarded?
I don't pay attention when we go. Like, my wife will ask me, what do you think we should get? I'm like, I don't know. I said, that's like completely, that area is off limits of the house to me. Like, I only go there to get a pop out of the refrigerator, and that's it. Like that, I don't know.
So,
and did you know that? Oh, go ahead.
Does she ask you what you want for dinner, and do you know what to tell her?
I just say whatever you're making.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what the dinners are called.
The realization that Rambo is truly a basic bitch.
That one thing with the bread and the meat, sometimes cheese, that one.
I'm definitely kitchen retarded.
That you go into, get a jar with a little bit of stuff in it.
I'm definitely kitchen retarded.
I can do the bread with said stuff, and you get a sandwich.
I can make sandwiches and cereal.
Oh my God!
So, like, you cook the Cheerios from scratch, or you can add milk to them?
No, I can add milk to them.
Okay.
And
I can
like
make
Chris,
sandwiches and cereal. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm fucked after that.
Chris, before I met my wife, whenever I was single, I never went grocery shopping. My grocery shopping was Little Caesars or McDonald's or whatever. When my kids came to visit, it was Little Caesars, McDonald's. Like, I don't cook at all. Like, I stay out of the kitchen. Like, I can grill like hamburgers, but I can't. Like, when it comes to the kitchen, man, I have like anxiety.
So many buttons.
If you just
knobs,
have,
it's like, what do I do?
if we're just actually having one dish where all I have to do is like focus on one pan, I'm good. But as soon as you start adding 2 or 3 pans to that stovetop, I'm out, man. Like, cause I start getting like way too nervous, and I'm like, there's too much things going on. I end up pouring the milk and the meat and the like instead of the macaroni, and like, it's a mess.
What he's saying is he can make like sloppy Joe meat.
Man, I love cooking.
I'm completely fucking retarded when it comes to the kitchen. My kids, I tried cooking once on like bacon and eggs, and my kids are like, it's black, and I was like, it's better that way. At least you know it's done. So we ate like crispy. We ate crispy fucking bacon and crispy fucking eggs.
How do you make an egg crispy?
With scrambled eggs, it just was like really stuck to the bottom of the pan.
Did this guy just say he burned eggs?
Yep.
Yeah.
He made scrambled eggs crispy, Brim.
Yeah, that's called burning eggs.
You had to cut them.
Oh
like with a knife.
God.
With a steak knife, yeah.
That's well then. So
I told you I'm kitchen retarded. I'm like fully kitchen retarded.
If we ever hang out with Rambo, Shane, we're going out to eat.
Yeah, I'm thinking buffet.
Yeah, that's a guarantee. I mean, I'm telling you, like I just ate out all the time. Like I never ate at home whenever I was single.
Well, when you're single, it's probably cheaper to eat out anyway.
And whenever I married, then I just let her cook. And then when she comes, like, and we're at the store, she's like, should I get this or should I get that? I was like, whatever you think is best, because I'm just gonna eat it. Like I don't even know what the hell you're holding up, so I just get it. I mean I know the staples, but I mean I don't know when it starts coming like that, like preparing and mixing shit, and she starts asking me like what I want mixed. I was like, what do you usually do? Because like whatever you usually do that. Don't change anything, because like don't start trying to do this fancy shit, because I don't want to like not be able to eat because I don't know how to go in there and fix me something else.
This may be why you eat once a day, Rambo.
It probably is.
She's at work. I'm sorry, I can't eat right now. I can't make cereal.
Oh, when the kids are out for summer and she's at work, they're like they eat pizza rolls or hot pockets or sandwiches or whatever during.
And that's all in the breakfast.
During
right?
no, because they sleep in past breakfast. But if they have breakfast, we have cereal, and whatever else they want to eat for the lunches, it has to either be a sandwich or in the microwave. Because they have to do it themselves. Because I can't. If they entrust me to like try to fix them lunch, then.
At least you never get that question, Dad, what's there to eat and can you make it for me?
Yeah, I'll never get that, because my kids will volunteer to cook before I cook.
Like your kids probably cook for you, huh? Dad, you should eat. So what do you want to eat?
Like I'll just have a sandwich. I'm good.
Rambo needs a platinum trophy cake, but he has to make it.
But see, a cake isn't that bad because a cake is a single item. But you can, like, if I was to make a cake and then had to make icing too, that's where the problem would be, because that's more than one thing at a time. Like that's the reason why I buy that canned icing. I can make a cake because it's a single item. I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm just like completely retarded.
So apparently, if we ever see Rambo, we need to avoid kitchens and spiders.
And bees.
Oh yeah, bees too.
Oh, my wife will tell you fully. She's like, "You're gonna learn how to cook tonight." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I've gone 41 years without learning how to cook. Learning now because like I don't have any medicine to calm my damn nerves down."
Didn't your mom teach you how to cook, or didn't you pick up anything from her?
No, I never even went in the kitchen when she was cooking. I just stayed like, to me that was a woman's area. Don't everybody get quiet at once.
It's like, well,
oh no, it's just like I just didn't like what my parents would cook, so I would just make my own food.
I had to check to see what I had going on in my pants because I'm the cook in my house, so I needed to make sure I wasn't a woman.
Let's see, if we were ever in like that situation, like my family would just die. Like we would.
Like on the Oregon Trail, they'd die of starvation and fever.
You have malaria because you didn't eat, but yeah, you'll be all right. Here's some water. Or we just like I'd do like what we did before is like just make sure my wife worked at a good place so that way we could afford McDonald's every day.
So have you ever made a meal in like a more than one thing meal?
The bacon and eggs thing, and that's whenever I burned it, and after that, like I won't do it.
Well, yeah, I think I'd retire too if I made scrambled eggs crispy. I'm like, here, kids, these are scrambled eggs chips.
I've tried making like I've tried again, but I get so frustrated I just throw everything away. It's so nerve-wracking to try to like time everything correctly and to remember, okay, well this thing needs milk at this time, and this thing needs to be stirred at this time, and this thing back here needs to be checked. And I'm like, fuck all that. Like, why do we have to do this? Like, why can't I just put something on here and it just be done? Like, just wait 10 minutes and it's done.
Damn. I guess you need McDonald's in your house.
That would be nice.
Right?
Chris, you're lucky. If the cooking was equal between me and my wife, I would only eat when I cooked half the time. My wife is Rambo in the kitchen.
Yeah, my wife has offered to teach me, and she's she's a willing teacher, but like I get so damn flustered, and I would love to teach. I mean, I would love to cook my wife a meal, but I've pretended that I cooked. Like one time when she was off, I went and got takeout and then put it in dishes and.
Oh, he's one of them guys.
Yeah, and pretended that I cooked, and then she like caught me. She's like, "There's no way you made this." I'm like, "No."
This is great fried chicken, honey. Yeah, thank the Colonel.
That's fucking funny.
I can't do the kitchen. Like that's a skilled labor job.
That's true. Chefs get a lot of money. Even short order cooks and shit
Rambo
can
needs
get paid
a
pretty well.
touchscreen menu in his house.
That would be so cool if I could just push buttons and then all of a sudden it comes out the oven.
Yeah, that's what we need to get him, guys, is an apron, a blue apron with a platinum trophy on it. To give him the encouragement to cook.
I would before, if I would ever moved into a house, I would hire a chef before I hired a maid.
Only fucking Rambo would be making a bowl of cereal wearing the fucking platinum apron.
Yeah, I'd be like, look what I made, everybody. We're all eating cereal tonight. This is gourmet Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
You don't even need to add milk to that shit. It's delicious.
Would you like it with a side of chocolate milk?
There's
I got that pre-made.
No way Cinnamon Toast Crunch is healthy for you. Like, they say it's like good source of fiber or whatever, but that tastes like you're drinking sugar out of a bag. There's no way.
It's healthy enough.
I live on that shit, sir.
I love that shit too. I mean, we just recently got shredded wheat with Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavoring. And although it's not as good as the regular kind, there's still no way that shredded wheat is healthy for you.
No, that's why, Scott. That was my wife that happened with. Like, I've never actually had like a girlfriend that we dated, and like it was either just fuck him and leave him or marry him.
And he's had several wives, so he's not fucking with you.
Yeah, I've never dated.
Man knows what he's talking about.
I've never dated. I saw no point in dating. It's like you're either gonna fuck me or you're not, and I spend $600 to find out.
Well, see, that's why you don't get pussy whipped ever.
No, you don't. Like, cause
don't get pussy whipped, and don't get hung up on the idea of pussy. Like, if you know the chick's gonna bang you, spend very, very small amounts of money. And if there's even a slightest chance a woman's gonna try to bang you, or there's even a, you really want her, go the minimum route. I'm telling you, the dollar menu exists for a reason. Just saying. Just be like, you want a snack or something?
Oh no,
I'm a little famished. A little snack.
Go get. Every recipe has instructions. The only problem is whenever they say 25 to 35 minutes, that's a big fucking window.
It means check it at 25 minutes, and if it's not.
But how do I know if it's done? It doesn't tell me like what it's supposed to do when it's done.
Depends what it is, Rambo. If it's a cake and you poke it with a fork and nothing comes out, it's done. If it's meat,
that's
put a thermometer in it.
Well, I don't know what fucking temperature fucking meat's supposed to be. Like,
90% of the time on the thermometer, it says like 1 whatever ham, 1 whatever.
Oh, I
chicken.
thought you were talking about like sticking like a regular thermometer in there. I'm like going, does this feel like a 0.3?
He would too.
Yeah, so I didn't even know that they had a meat thermometer, like an actual thermometer for meat.
You can't find the temperature of meat safely with a Gerber thermometer, Rambo.
Well, my wife just cooks. Like, she doesn't have no thermometers.
For a turkey or something, I bet you she does. She just only uses it on those types of things.
No, I go to the store with her every time. We've never bought a fucking thermometer. I've never even seen a thermometer for.
You only need
that would have scared me.
Usable.
That would have scared me because I would have been like, "What are you going to use that for?"
And they don't look like regular baby fever thermometers, Rambo.
I know, that's why it would scare me, because if you can't use a baby thermometer on it, then it would have really scared the shit out of me. Like, I'm not using that. But no, I didn't, like, we don't have a thermometer in our house, like, besides the baby thermometer that you rub across your forehead.
I would be willing to bet you in your kitchen now is a meat thermometer.
I've never seen my wife use it.
Well,
ever.
Sometimes you could, if you're a good cook and you cook a lot, you can look at something and usually tell if it's done. But
yeah, most things.
So some things.
That's usually what she does, as far as I know, like chicken and shit like that. Chicken and ham, she just pulls out of the oven and says, "Okay, eat."
Okay, but like a big turkey, you can't always tell by the outside. And you can't always trust that little nipple thing that pops up when it,
There's a nipple thing that pops up on a turkey?
It's a little, red button that pops out of the turkey?
I've only seen turkeys that were done, so I don't know what.
Do you know that you have to ram your hand in a turkey's ass and pull everything out, Rambo?
Yeah, I've seen my wife do that, but I've never seen a red thing pop up on it.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I've seen her like prepare it, but then I've never seen it come out of the oven like it's just simply done and it's ready and carved, and my wife plates the food. And
you don't even carve the turkey?
No.
That's a man's job.
I just get called to dinner.
He's like, I just have to put down my soda and leave the football game. That's it.
She does. She prepares the dinner for everybody and prepares the foods and stuff, the plates and stuff.
Yep. Do like Xbox guy says, and just eat your food raw. It makes your immune system good and strong.
I eat my steak medium rare, medium to medium rare.
Same with my prime rib. I eat prime rib like that.
I'm the opposite. That shit's got to be well done to burnt.
I don't know how they don't eat that, because that's like you're just gnawing.
That to me is the most un-American thing ever, Shane.
It's got more flavor when it's all the way done.
No, it don't.
You taste burnt.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's like
it tastes like fucking charcoal.
Yeah, that's the point.
No, the point is all the juices that come out when you eat it medium and medium raw. or medium raw, whatever
I will never make
medium rare
steak because she wants me to burn it, and I can't bring myself to do that.
Oh, it's a waste.
It's heartbreaking, man.
And then you like to chew it, like you're chewing forever on one piece to try to get it down because like it's tough.
Not if you could take it off just at the right time.
Not if it's all the way like if there's no pink in it.
Black,
like
that's already past the right time.
Yeah, it's past time.
See, like what I do is cook them in the oven, like when I'm not grilling them outside, and wait for them to get like almost done or to the texture and firmness that you want, and then throw it in a frying pan to get the sear taste to it. And it seems to work. I haven't had a complaint.
Just dip them in the blood.
No, that shit in the package is not blood.
No, the shit that like whenever you're cooking and then you cut your like when you're eating medium rare and you cut your steak and then the red juices come out and that's like flavor.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Eat that shit with a potato. It is
like
son.
Yes.
Yeah, like you're whenever you get done with your steak, it's just a white plate. Like that's just wrong. Like no, it should be a messy plate with like
blood in the fucking side of it. No.
That's what the flavor is.
Wrong, sir.
Dip your bread in it and everything, man.
It's blood for the blood god.
Yep, I don't think I can do that.
Oh, it took my like my wife can't eat that, but I've got her son to eat the medium rare ones. And she's like, she grosses out every time I eat it because it's like I'm like mopping up the blood and stuff and eating it. And
bro, I love it when they just fucking throw it on a grill real quick and just flip it a couple of times. That's all I need.
Yeah, just basically make it like warm on the outside.
Yep. I'm like, yo, if my shit's still mooing, don't worry, I'll eat it anyways.
I like to do, I'll marinate overnight and then I'll put it on the broiler pan in the oven. Just do it like maybe 7 minutes on both sides. Ooh.
And Shane's like, nah, I like to have it there for like 4 hours.
No, more like 45 minutes, but yeah.
Oh my god.
At like 400 or 425.
25 minutes. Jesus.
Shane's like, I can build a house with it when we get done.
Fuck.
I have fake teeth, and I got no problem eating them when they're done. So, you guys saying that they're hard? I don't know. You're actually burning them if they're hard.
Man, I can tell you whenever, like, me actually with no top teeth, whenever I could like bite a medium rare, I can actually like it'll just fall apart in my mouth. Like that's when you know you actually have a really good steak. But like yours, like if it's gray in the inside,
no, it's just not red.
You fucking killed the cow. Like
yeah, that's the point of eating the steak is the cow is dead.
No.
Then what we need to do is just get a blowtorch and go out to a cow field and just burn them a couple of times with a fork.
I'm down. Let's do this. I'm down. Give me some garlic salt, a blowtorch, and a knife and a fork, dude. I got this. You will have the best fucking prime rib you'll ever have in your life when we do this.
I'd give him
I'm a prime rib guy. I love prime rib. I love steaks. I love Texas round steaks. If you guys ever get that, that's some big ass meat.
Oh, I'm full on like fillet and like the center cut fillets.
Really? Those are small.
But I can eat a bunch of them, but I want them like nice and that's like the most tenderest part.
You should try Texas round steak, dude. That's pretty tender meat.
Bone-in ribeyes.
Really? You like the bone-in? I hate
Whatever's on sale at the grocery store.
Bone-in is so much better.
I can't stand it. You give me the prime rib or the bone-out ribeyes, I'm fine. I just don't like the bone. I hate dealing with it.
No, I've never had bison, Chris.
Bison is fucking delicious.
Bison's really good.
Dude, it is. I've had it. It is fucking delicious. It is going to be probably some of the best meat you'll have outside of beef, and it's not even really that gamey. It actually tastes really good.
Yeah, we have it here.
Yeah.
Now, Shane, you're probably the type of sirloin, don't you?
If it's on sale at the grocery store, yeah.
Ugh.
Sirloin's not bad.
What is it?
Sirloin steak.
It makes good steak sandwiches.
I like skirt steak. Skirt steak's good.
Tri-tip.
Tri-tip's
good.
Good.
Tri-tip.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not picky. If it's on sale, it's on sale. If you buy one and get 4 free, you'd be retarded not to.
I can't eat sirloin.
Really? You can't eat sirloins?
It's like the poor man's meat.
Whoever's making it for you doesn't know what they're doing.
Like whenever I go to the steak place, like anywhere to order steak, my steak's at least $30 or more.
Dude, I tell you what, the shittier the steak, like the cut of steak is, you can get it to taste like it's way more expensive than what it is. You just need to know what you're doing when you cook it.
Yeah, this is Rambo we're talking about. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's up to me, like I'm just eating the shit out of the package because I'm not cooking it.
It's funny you should say it's the poor man's meat because it's like one of the biggest things that steakhouses out here will actually sell you at like marked up value because they cooked it.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like if like a sirloin out here, like you can go to a restaurant and get sirloin, like top sirloin for like $8 for like a 10-ounce sirloin, or you can pay $30 for a 6-ounce center cut fillet, and I'm like, center cut it is all the way.
Now I got a question for you, Rambo. Have you ever had your filet mignons bacon wrapped?
Like at Charleston's, they have like some sort of like butter herb like glaze that they marinated in, and it's like to die for. So after that, I don't even care about bacon wrap.
Oh, dude, I was just gonna say, do that butter stuff and then do bacon wrapped with it. It would so good. I've had bacon wrapped filet mignon before, and it's delicious. They even have it with bacon wrapped with stuffed jalapenos. Oh my god.
I don't like jalapenos, so
pussy.
Yeah, hot stuff really isn't my thing. I still have a line in my tongue from whenever I went to what's it called, Branson, Missouri, and they had a hot sauce store, and they were like, "This is the hottest sauce ever," like we can't even open it in the store, so they actually had to come outside, open it, and give us a taste of it with a toothpick. They dipped it in the toothpick in the sauce and then handed it to us, and they like, just put it on your tongue, and I did, and like I still have a line where that damn thing was. Like it fucking burned. I will never forget that day, and I'll never eat another damn thing again because like that shit hurt. And when you shit, it fucking hurts even though you didn't even eat anything. You just that shit burns going in and coming out.
Sounds like your sex life, eh? Eh?
You get some problems if it burns going out.
Disease.
A little bit. Well, lovely talk. I love how quiet it got. So, I mean.
Yeah, it got like.
Good talk, guys. Good talk.
Yeah, you took it to a weird place.
You're the one that brought up his sex life, Brim.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't make it silent. I mean, I've said far worse things than that. I mean, come on.
We were all like, where do we go from here?
I was reading the chat. They're talking about McGangbangs. Well, Cyrus is talking about being a part of an actual gangbang. The rest of them are talking about McGangbangs. From the sounds of it, Cyrus had a black, an Asian, a Filipino, a Korean, and a white bitch. That was his gangbang. He was one of everything.
So this is all like all these different dudes were on top of you at once, Cyrus?
What he was just at a bukkake.
Bukkake! Woo! All about the Bukkake life. It gets all quiet again.
Fucking, I don't know, Halo. It's already been 4 hours. It's up to these guys.
Yeah, Chris, I'm with you. My wife would kill me and whoever the gangbang was a part of.
Well, it's been 4 hours. We could cut it out, dude.
Never.
We could end it with the normal, Shane like stick, whatever.
See, but I don't. I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, I have come to the realization that every time somebody's bringing up dick, it is actually you.
And I have more sex than all of you put together. So, straight sex,
Your
by the way.
Your hand does not count.
No, I haven't done that in years.
Like,
when
you have to shave
years, he means like the other day. So
you have to like shave your hand to use your keyboard.
What the fuck?
My hand doesn't grow hair.
Are you sure?
Let me double check. Yep.
He's like, I just waxed it the other day.
Yeah. With my Revlon wax kit. Because I'm a cover girl. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That was
no hard. Xbox guy. Technically, whenever you get married, you technically shouldn't have to masturbate.
No, yeah.
I mean
that is the idea.
This is my 13th wedding anniversary. I haven't masturbated in about 10 years. Well, at least I haven't done it myself in 10 years. Let's put it that way. Hand jobs don't count.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Yeah, Chris, these conversations, I mean, especially when we get towards the end of the podcast, like they start getting out there. You start learning more about people than what you really ever wanted to know.
Cyrus went to a biker gangbang? Wow, Cyrus.
So Cyrus got pegged, if you know what I'm saying?
Some fat whore all hyped up on crank.
Yeah, Cyrus had like.
He brought her to a party so he could be like, "Take a look at my hog, boys."
I've seen those biker chicks and biker men, and like none of them look decent.
No, they're all fat, sweaty mamas hyped up on crank full of liquor. No, just me and the motorcycles. What, Cyrus?
He's all, no, I was fucking some Harleys earlier. I had one Kawasaki in the mix, but that got all kind of weird after a while.
Those Asian motorcycles are real wild, man.
The Kawasaki had higher RPMs, tired me out faster.
Please don't send that picture, Cyrus.
What, of him fucking motorcycles?
He said talk about Haagen Dog. And Xbox guy says, "Oh God, he's cooking hot dog."
That's like almost Haagen Dog right there, dude.
Well, yeah, Xbox guy, you'll never be the same again.
So when you're eating them, think of the Haagen Dog picture that I have shared with you. And if I haven't and you would like to see it, just tweet me. I got no problem sending it your way, buddy.
That Haagen Dog picture goes around like it's a virus.
It is a virus.
Sharing his Haagen Tire picture. Or video. If you're ever confused in a bedroom, you're a virgin, you don't know what to do with a woman, watch this hog fuck a tire.